Chapter 1775. Macy was stunned. What's Director Zhou doing? You. Director Zhou turned to Macy. Are you freaking blind? How dare you mess with anyone you want? Macy was startled and wanted to say something but was instantly interrupted by Director Zhou. You're fired. Get out of my sight this instant. Macy's face turned ghastly pale. She had no idea what just happened. Why was she fired for no reason? What did you say? The silent Fu Mingxi slowly picked off his glasses and stared at Director Zhou. Mr. Fu, no one can help anyone who offends this miss. The portly man replied with a smile. Oh. Fu Mingxi was surprised and carefully examined Yuanwan. Who in the world was this woman? Director Zhou shouted. Why are you still standing here? Security, toss her out. Macy was swiftly thrown out of Star's Entertainment by several security guards. Come, please enter. Director Zhou said to Yuanwan and her group with an ingratiating smile. They followed Director Zhou upstairs and entered his office. Since we came to the wrong branch, we won't disturb you, First Elder said in the office. Director Zhou's expression shifted immediately. No. The other branch is far away. To be honest with you, when we learned in a meeting that this honorable lady wanted to visit a branch office, us 3 major branches all wished to be graced by luck. Unfortunately, this opportunity didn't fall on this branch. But now this opportunity was given to us by the heavens. It must have been heaven's will. Yuanwan. Director Zhou is quite clever with his words. Director Zhou secretly studied Yuanwan. Although he didn't know this woman's background, she had to have a notable background to make Big Boss act so seriously. Based on her looks, she might even be their Big Boss lover. Soon, a video call flashed on the big screen in Director Zhou's office. Director Zhou accepted the call immediately. Second Elder's face appeared on the screen. Chairman Fu. Director Zhou respectfully greeted as soon as he saw Second Elder. Grandpa. Fu Mingxi also called out at the same time. Grandpa. Yuanwan and the others were surprised. Fu Mingxi was actually Second Elder's grandson. No wonder Fu Mingxi dared to question Director Zhou when Director Zhou fired his assistant earlier despite Director Zhou being the head of this branch. It turned out Fu Mingxi was the grandson of Stars Corporation's boss. President. I sincerely apologize. It was my fault for not notifying people properly. Please punish me, President. On the screen, Second Elder hastily stood up and reverently apologized to Yuanwan. Director Zhou and Fu Mingxi froze in their spots and turned to look at Yuanwan like they had seen a ghost. Director Zhou knew their big boss was the Second Elder of the Independent States Fearless Alliance, an all-powerful, fearsome figure. Now though, their big boss actually called this woman before them President. Director Zhou previously thought Yuanwan was Second Elder's lover. However, it appeared this woman wasn't their big boss lover at all. She was freaking their big boss's boss. Chapter 1776. Pre-President. Fu Mingxi stared at Yuanwan, golden light emanating from his eyes and an incredulous expression overcoming his face. You're by phone. President Bai? Are you really Lady President? Fu Mingxi shot toward Yuanwan instantly, but before he got too close, he was blocked by 7-star. Insolence isn't permitted before the president. Fu Mingxi glared at 7-star with a frown. Aren't you too tyrannical, 7-star? The president doesn't belong to you. Moreover, you can't match my relationship with the president. Yuanwan's heart skipped a beat. Why do his words sound weird? What relationship could I have with this Fu Mingxi? Fu Mingxi's eyes continued to shine as he stared at Yuanwan. Traces of shyness leaked from his mannerism before he proudly said to 7-star, I have an engagement with the president. Yuanwan immediately spat out the sip of tea she just drank. What? I have an engagement with Fu Mingxi? Why does Bai Feng have an engagement with people everywhere I go? An engagement? Yuanwan reflexively looked at Fu Mingxi. Fu Mingxi nervously asked, You don't remember, President? 5 years ago, my grandpa betrothed me to you. Although I've always lived in China due to my bad health. Grandpa showed you my picture back then, and you agreed. In the video call, Second Elder immediately echoed, That's right, Mingxi has belonged to you for a long time now, President, But you weren't in the independent state these past years, so the marriage kept being delayed. Yuanwan. What do you mean he belongs to me? What do you mean you betrothed him to me? Don't talk so frighteningly, okay? I merely came here to inspect this place? How did I suddenly gain a fiancé? Second elder continued. Don't worry, President. While you were gone, Mingxi was very obedient and well-behaved and kept himself clean and chaste. He absolutely isn't tainted with any bad habits from the industry. He was ready to consummate the marriage as soon as you came back. However, you just returned to the alliance months ago, so you were bombarded by numerous affairs and overly busy, so I didn't get a chance to mention it. This is also a good opportunity though. Fu Mingxi nodded and enthusiastically said, Of course. There isn't a woman who's qualified for a gaze from me aside from the president. Following the president is my only dream in life. I'll belong to the president until I die. Ha 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 ha. The president is still single, Mingxi. If you have the fortune of being married to President Fearless, the entire Fearless Alliance would belong to you as well in the future. Second elder roared with laughter from the other end of the video call. Yuanwan was speechless. Aren't you too frank, second elder? Big Dipper propped his hands against his hips. Blah. Second elder, I don't think there's anything worth mentioning about your grandson, except for being a little good-looking. Yet he wants to get married to Sis Feng? I won't agree to this marriage. Even if Old Seven was getting married to the president, he would be a better option than your grandson. 7-star. First elder and third elder finally realized something was amiss. Third elder forcefully slapped the table. Aren't you too shameless, second elder? He's simply selling his grandson for glory. He's ludicrous. Why didn't I think to do this? My useless sons only know how to offend the president. So second elder managed to snatch a chance first. If Fu Mingxi really became the president's man, then the entire Fearless Alliance would become second elder's domain. That wouldn't do. Chapter 1777. Anyway, he absolutely couldn't allow second elder to snatch this opportunity. Did this old geezer think he was the only one with a grandson? Third elder's eyes shifted and he hastily recommended his own people. President, my eldest grandson Li Wenyao, is also an outstanding person. You've seen Wenyao, President. His looks are superb as well. Otherwise, what do you think about my youngest son Li Ziyu? Ziyu also has fine looks, and he's merely a few years older than you, President. First elder's face turned black with anger. These two old misers. They were actually using such crooked methods to strive for the president's favor. Were they bullying him for being single and not having any sons? He would allow anyone but these two old geezers to reap benefits. And so First Elder also hastily interjected. President, if you really want to choose someone from the alliance, I recommend Jiang Li. Jiang Li might not be as handsome, but his martial arts skills. Jiang Li was First Elder's godson. Third Elder immediately shoved First Elder to the side. Why are you mentioning him if he doesn't have good looks? You don't even know the president's tastes, so don't randomly try to matchmake. At the mention of looks, Fu Mingxi evidently gained more confidence. President, I know you like good-looking men. If we're talking about looks, there aren't many people whose looks are superior to mine in the entire entertainment industry. Yuanwan. Hey, are you guys done? Why's the topic getting more and more askew? What do they think I am? Yuanwan sternly said. Enough, I came here to perform an inspection, not collect rent. Do I look like those debauched monarchs who could be bribed by beauties? Big Dipper instantly shook his head. Of course you don't look like it. You are that kind of person, Sis Feng. If you aren't bribed, it must be because the person isn't beautiful enough. Yuanwan. Come over here and I guarantee I won't kill you. Yuanwan cut this topic short, reaching the end of her patience. All of you shut up. Let's talk business. Second Elder looked at Director Zhou and instructed. Zhou Tao, the president's orders are my orders. The entire Stars Corporation can be changed however the president wants while she's in China. No disobedience is permitted. Zhou Tao vehemently nodded with an excited expression. Of course, of course. I understand. Thank you for Chairman Fu and Lady President's trust. Then Zhou Tao and Second Elder held a brief meeting and reported some information to Yuanwan. After the video call ended, Zhou Tao arranged for the most superior welcome lunch at Stars Entertainment, while Fu Mingxi accompanied them the whole time and didn't go anywhere else. Second elder had secretly called his grandson and exhorted him to take advantage of the president's visit in China to win her favor. President, I'm familiar with China. If there's any place you want to visit, tell me and I'll definitely arrange everything. Fu Mingxi enthusiastically waited on Yi Wanwan on his hands and feet without any impatience. Big Dipper exposed him without any hesitation. I'm telling you, punk, stop acting so attentive. You just want to obtain the fearless alliance. Fu Mingxi earnestly said, my loyalty to the President Fearless can be verified by heaven and earth. If the President and I are married, I would belong to the President, so would there be any difference in who the Fearless Alliance belonged to? Anyway, the President is currently battling goo poison, so she might need someone to ease the effects in case the poison acts up before an antidote is found. How could you use those grimy people on the outside without worrying? I'm simply shouldering the President's worries. At the mention of the love goo, Yi Wanwan recalled a certain person and became more annoyed. She pinched her brows and ordered, hush, let me rest a bit. Chapter 1778 Yes, President. Fu Mingxi obediently shut up immediately. He pushed Big Dipper to the side before waiting a mere step away from Yi Wanwan silently. At that moment, his phone suddenly started ringing. Fu Mingxi casually skimmed the caller ID before answering impatiently. Hey, what is it? It was Fu Mingxi's manager on the other end. Mingxi, it's me. Don't tell me you forgot what today is? What's today? Fu Mingxi sounded uncaring. His manager became anxious at once and quickly reminded him. Mingxi, today is Xiaoheng's birthday banquet. I told you beforehand. After all, Xiaoheng is Su Xiaohao's grandson, who's a director at Stars Corporation. It'd be beneficial for you to wish Xiaoheng happy birthday and make some connections with the higher-ups at Stars Corporation. The fact that Fu Mingxi was the grandson of Stars Corporation's chairman of the board was kept confidential, so no one in Stars Entertainment knew about it, including his manager. Fu Mingxi curled his lips scornfully. Tisich. He felt nothing but disdain about his manager's words. Who the heck was Su Xiaohao? Su Xiaohao was merely a minor director at a Chinese branch, but his grandfather, Fu Hongru, was the chairman of Stars Corporation and the second elder of the Fearless Alliance. In the future, he would become the man of the president of the Fearless Alliance. He, Fu Mingxi, was a higher-up amongst higher-ups. Why would he need the help of a nobody like Xiaoheng to befriend Stars Corporation? I have something important to do today. Help decline it on my behalf, Fu Mingxi nonchalantly replied. As soon as the manager heard that, he looked troubled. Fu Mingxi was Stars Entertainment's hottest star on the international scene, so even he couldn't order Fu Mingxi to do something as his manager. The manager could only try to genuinely convince him otherwise. Mingxi, you just need to show your face and it won't waste much time. Half an hour. No, just 10 minutes. You just need to stay 10 minutes, how about that? In order to make Fu Mingxi agree, the manager's eyes shifted and he added, oh right, aren't you rather interested in that Golden Orchid Best Actress, Jiang Yanran? All of the artists from the Age of Immortals will be attending today. Yi Wanwan was rather close to Fu Mingxi, so she could faintly hear most of the conversation. At the mention of Jiang Yanran and the Age of Immortals, she reflexively looked up at Fu Mingxi. Fu Mingxi was scared shitless and immediately cursed his manager out. And nonsense. Why would I be interested in other women? Who's the one spreading rumors? Do they want to die? I have no idea who that Yen something Ran something person is. He merely thought that woman had decent acting skills and casually complimented her. Yet this incompetent fool decided to slander him. The manager was dumbstruck, having no idea why Fu Mingxi became so emotional all of a sudden. Fu Mingxi hung up at once and hastily explained to Yi Wanwan. You mustn't misunderstand, President. My manager was merely running his mouth off. I haven't even dated anyone before. Yi Wanwan exasperatedly interrupted Fu Mingxi's declaration of his purity and chastity. Your manager was talking about Xiaoheng's birthday banquet? That's right, but he's just the grandson of a branch head. No need to pay attention to him, President, Fu Mingxi answered. Xiao Heng is an artist under Emperor Sky Entertainment? Yu Wanwan asked. He used to be from Stars Entertainment but couldn't get by anymore, so he went to Emperor Sky. He's only popular from freeloading off of other people's popularity. Fu Mingxi looked derisive of the other man. Chapter 1779. Yu Wanwan previously looked into information related to Xiao Heng and knew he was the trump card that Yi used to suppress the Age of Immortals. Han Xinyu and the others suffered quite a few losses against him. Fu Mingxi pursed his lips. He's just the grandson of a branch head, but actually claims he's the Crown Prince of Stars Corporation. Seriously. I, the genuine Crown Prince, haven't said anything myself. Who does he think he is? Yi Wanwan gave it some thought before glancing at Fu Mingxi. Since there's nothing else to do right now, let's go and take a look. Fu Mingxi was dumbstruck and thought of something that caused his expression to change instantly. What? You want to attend Xiao Heng's birthday banquet? President, don't tell me you took a fancy to Xiao Heng. Otherwise, why would she be so interested in Xiao Heng out of nowhere and ask so many questions about him? Yi Wanwan's face turned black as the bottom of a pan instantly. What kind of strange neural circuit did this guy have? Which part of her sentence sounded like she took a fancy to Xiao Heng? Yi Wanwan corrected him. You're overthinking. I merely remembered I have a few friends going there today. Fu Mingxi asked, really? Grandpa previously told him about the president's situation in detail. So Fu Mingxi immediately remembered that the president was the founder of the Age of Immortals when she was in China, and once managed Luo Chun, Gongsu, and Jiang Yanran. So it was because people from the Age of Immortals would also be there. No problem. I'll arrange everything and have my manager prepare the car now. Fu Mingxi relaxed and said, since you don't have an invitation, President, I can only burden you to enter as my partner. Whatever. That's fine. Fu Mingxi was overcome with excitement. The president agreed to be his partner. If he rounded it up, it was the same as acknowledging his status. Then, Big Dipper, 7-star, you two can go back since I'll take care of the president. Anyway, I don't have any extra invitations. Fu Mingxi was itching to get rid of the 2 third wheels immediately. Take care your ass. I think you just want to pull an inside job. Who needs a crappy invitation? Let's see who'll dare to stop me. Big Dipper yelled while drawing up his sleeves. Fu Mingxi tidied his exquisite and luxurious cuffs and peered at Big Dipper from the corner of his eyes. Big Dipper, this is China, not the independent state. Everything has to be done according to the rules. You know nothing, so don't cause trouble for the president. What are you saying? I don't know anything? I'm causing trouble for the president. When I started standing next to Sis Feng, you were still playing with mud. Big Dipper, you and 7-star can wait outside. Yi Wanwan interrupted their quarreling exasperatedly. Big Dipper couldn't refute the president's orders, so he angrily whispered in 7-star's ears behind them. Damn! We really aren't letting this punk displace us, right? Old 7, think of something. 7-star remained unruffled the whole time. Upon hearing this, he calmly said, groundless fears. Big Dipper was offended. How are these groundless fears? Look at that punk. He'd want nothing more than to plaster himself onto Sis Feng. 7-star expressionlessly said, Sis Feng doesn't have such low standards. Big Dipper mumbled, huh? This is low? To give the devil his due, there's nothing I can insult about Fu Mingxi, that punk's face. Meanwhile, at Imperial City's Wester Grand Hotel, the entire 6-star hotel was booked out today, and guests arrived in an endless stream. Half of the entertainment industry's famous artists were there, resplendently dazzling the venue. Aside from that, there were also distinguished businessmen and politicians roaming around. This was a spectacle that could hold a candle to the Golden Orchid Award ceremony. Chapter 1780. Countless reporters caught wind of this, and came with their cameras in tow merely for the birthday banquet of the grandson of some director at Stars Corporation. Wow! It's Zhao Kersen. And Evan. Even Wen Ziheng, who never attends private parties, is here. That's not all. Even Li Xiaoheng, Guijia, and Feng Qingke are here. They're all international A-listers. It's just the birthday party of a B-lister, but it's such a showy gathering. A novice reporter commented in incomprehension. A veteran reporter explained to him. Are you kidding me? Xiao Heng is the crown prince of Stars Corporation. Those stars from the Age of Immortals had a boundless future ahead of them after the Golden Orchid Awards, but even they can only act as shoe bearers for Xiao Heng. Even an international best actor on Han Xianyu's level could only be a lackey for the crown prince, all right? Another veteran reporter carrying filming equipment interjected. In the entertainment industry, you can't do well simply because you have good acting skills and win a few best actors and best actresses. You also have to look at whose background is stronger. How can Han Xianyu and his group compete with Xiao Heng? Yi Mufan is currently still held in custody, and Yi Bai can't protect him regardless of her capabilities. She even disappeared without a trace. The veteran reporter continued. The novice reporter had nothing but agreement on his face. That's right, that's right. What's most important in the entertainment industry is the strength of your backer. Otherwise, no matter how awesome you are, you can only hold someone's shoes for them. Those reporters didn't try to be quiet at all. So Gong Su, who was walking on the red carpet, became so incensed that he wanted to charge toward the reporter who spoke. Damn. Who the heck are you calling a shoe holder? With the eyes of the public fixed on them and so many reporters present, a commotion would only humiliate them in the end. Luo Chen quickly pulled Gong Su back by his wrist and gave him a quiet reminder next to his ear. 13 girlfriends. Those two words were like a curse and turned Gong Su into a deflated balloon. Shit. Fei Yong couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief upon seeing a solution to control Gong Su. Gong Su was akin to the Monkey King who had his band-tightening spell activated. Hey, our birthday star tonight is here. Following an exclamation, a young man in his 20s started walking across the red carpet in a tailored Givenchy suit. Everyone's attention instantly landed on that night's birthday boy, and they all fought to gather around him to court his favor. Young Master Xiao, happy birthday. Brother Xiao, happy birthday. You're seriously too handsome tonight. Ling Xiaojia eagerly pushed forward. Brother Xiao, happy birthday. Sister Yi's mother isn't feeling well, so she couldn't personally come herself. She had me come here to celebrate in her stead. Fei Yong not only had to keep a watch on Gong Su to prevent him from causing trouble, but also had to be a good guest and congratulate the birthday boy. Xiao Heng, happy birthday. Xiao Heng greeted all the guests with a faint smile. When he caught sight of Fei Yong, Han Xinyu, Luo Chun, Jiang Yanran and Gong Su though, he carelessly swept his eyes over them and aloofly asked, Did you finish preparing for your events? It's all famous people attending tonight, so don't ruin it for me. Xiao Heng's tone made it sound like they were his servants and could be ordered around at his will. Even the good-tempered Han Xianyu's eyes darkened at his words. All the guests were people from the same circle, so Luo Chun and Jiang Yanran also didn't look too good at being humiliated in public like this. Fei Yong had mingled in this industry for many years, so he could bow and submit or stand tall and managed to maintain a smile. However, Gong Su, Fei Yong knew things were going to spoil at the sight of Gong Su's expression. At that moment his phone buzzed. There was a new message from a WeChat group. Yi Bai, are you all at Xiao Heng's birthday banquet? Chapter 1781. Since Yi Wanwan sent a message in the group chat, everyone's phone buzzed. Gong Su immediately tossed Xiao Heng to the back of his mind. Ever since Yi Wanwan disappeared, her messages hadn't shown up in the company group chat since. Suddenly seeing her surfacing in the group chat, Gong Su was incredibly excited despite already knowing she had returned. Gong Su, brother Yi. Gong Su, yeah. We're all here. Gong Su. How did you know, brother Yi? Gong Su, are you free now, brother Yi? Gong Su sent several voice messages out in quick succession. Soon Yi Wanwan replied, I'm almost there. Upon seeing this message, Gong Su's eyes shot open. Brother Yi is coming. Han Xinyu's expression became serious upon seeing the message. Now that Yi Bai was back, she naturally had to return to everyone's attention. However, their reality now was different from the past. The entertainment industry rose and fell. He had been through more difficult circumstances than this. so their current situation wasn't considered significant from his perspective. However, at the mere thought of that dazzling girl sinking into an abyss and having to face those rumors and slander, he found it harder to accept than his own sufferings. On the other hand, the audience around them, who were secretly anticipating a show, all couldn't help but sigh at seeing Gong Su and his group keeping silent and obediently accepting public face slapping from Xiao Heng. Xiao Heng's junior female assistant contemptuously mocked. "Tsh, the age of immortals, is it? You used to be extremely arrogant, but now? You wouldn't even dare to fart in front of Xiao Heng." This junior assistant was favored by Xiao Heng, so the nearby minor artists all quickly chimed in. Of course. Xiao Heng has Stars Corporation supporting him. No matter how arrogant Gong Su once was, he has no choice but to lower his head before Xiao Heng. The female assistant crossed her arms across her chest and coldly looked over everyone. Since when could just anyone be mentioned in the same breath as my Xiao Heng? As soon as Ling Xiaojia heard that, he took the chance to go up with an ingratiating expression. "What are you saying, sistering? How could pieces of trash like this compare to Brother Xiao? Nowadays, the age of immortals only barely manages to hold on because they have a god like Brother Xiao with them." When enemies met, anger boiled over. Ling Xiaojia's eyes were brimming with hatred as he looked at Luo Chun and Gong Su. Back when they filmed Terrifying Dragon together, he exploded with popularity, while Luo Chun remained anonymous. One soared to the heavens while the other remained on the ground. Later though, Yuanwan actually managed to make a piece of trash like Luo Chun popular while his reputation became ragged. If it weren't for the fact that he habitually flattered and curried favor with people, he would have been shelved already. In front of Xiao Heng, Yuanwan was nothing. Even Yi Yi had to bow before Xiao Heng. The female assistant was somewhat mollified. She derisively looked at Gong Su and his group. "You're right. This whole gang has to rely solely on Brother Su, but they're acting so ungrateful. They're seriously heartless and wretched." Xiao Heng was currently skillfully navigating his way through the honorable guests and chatting with them. He noticed the situation with his assistant, but had no intention of stopping them. Jiang Yanran almost snapped with fury at these absolutely distorted words. How can these people be so shameless? It's clearly Xiao Heng who's latching onto our company like a leech. At that moment, outside the banquet hall, Yuanwan obtained an invitation as Fu Mingxi's guest. Big Dipper and Seven Star couldn't enter the venue, but how could Big Dipper allow that? Hence, he and Fu Mingxi spiraled into an argument again. Chapter 1782. Big Dipper protested. Hey, you haven't even received any official word yet, but you're already posing as the Empress with me? In terms of arrival order, you aren't even on the list. Who do you think you are? Fu Mingxi retorted. I'm nothing much, but I'm the fiancé the president personally agreed to marry back then. Aha. And old Seven and I are personally taught by the president. Isn't that more useful than you? Ha. You're useful? How could brutes like you service the president well? Blah. I can't service the president well. But a weakling and incompetent fool like you can service the president well? Do you even have enough stamina? Yuanwan. Hey, enough already. Yuanwan was mentally exhausted by the quarreling that lasted the entire ride. Just who in the world gave her the courage to vow to possess a harem of 3,000 concubines? Just two were acting like this. If she had 3,000, the heavens would freaking turn over from the arguing. Big Dipper declared. From now on, only one of us can stay. Sis Feng, tell us, who do you want, him or me? Fu Mingxi protested. President, Big Dipper is an intolerable bully. Please show me justice. Yuanwan, harem? A harem is impossible. Impossible in this entire lifetime. I have something to do, so I'll enter first. Enjoy your chat. Yuanwan chose to flee on the spot. Finally abandoning the duo who quarreled to the point of giving her a migraine, Yuanwan relaxed and sent a message in the company group chat before going in search of Gong Su and the others. A group of people congregated in the center of the hall. Yuanwan saw many familiar faces, and in the middle of the group was tonight's birthday boy, Xiao Heng. Gong Su and the others were standing in the most remote corner, and all had unhappy expressions on their faces. Gong Su's eyes were sharp, and he was the first one to see Yi Wanwan. He jubilantly turned to her and waved. Brother Yi here? Yi Wanwan made her way toward them. Everyone was originally currying favor with Xiao Heng, but Yi Wanwan's sudden arrival instantly attracted many curious gazes. Damn. Who did Gong Su call? Is it Yi Mufan? How's that possible? Yi Mufan is still detained by the police. Then that's... The crowd reflexively turned to the entrance and promptly saw a girl languidly strolling into the hall. Fuck me. Yi Bai. It's actually Yi Bai. Yi Bai? Which Yi Bai? It's the illustrious Golden Manager of the Age of Immortals who produced double Best Actors and one Best Actress at the Golden Orchid Awards last year. She slaughtered the ceremony back then. Oh, it's that second miss of the Yi family, Yi Wanwan, right? She dressed as a man and single-handed founded the Age of Immortals Entertainment. She's a rather extraordinary figure. No matter how extraordinary she is, she's merely an insignificant manager. Her company's been acquired now. I heard she fled with embezzled funds, and is being cursed by everyone right now. Her reputation in the entertainment company is stinkier than sewage. I didn't expect her to dare to return. Isn't she afraid of being arrested? This is Xiao Heng's birthday party though. How did she get in? Nearly everyone's eyes were pulled toward Yi Wanwan. However, the girl acted like she didn't notice anything. She directly walked toward Gong Su the group and started talking to them. Gong Su grumbled. Brother Yi, why did you come? It's just a lousy birthday party. Aren't you giving him too much face? Yi Wanwan raised her eyebrows and couldn't help but chuckle. In the eyes of outsiders, she was currently a homeless dog who couldn't be any more downtrodden. However, Gong Su alone was always so confident in her. It's fine. I just came to observe. Yi Wanwan nonchalantly replied. Chapter 1783. Han Xinyu naturally detected everyone's malicious and mocking gazes. He reflexively used his body to block those gazes and protect Yi Wanwan. Let's go over there to eat something. Yi Wanwan nodded. Sure. Han Xinyu didn't want drama, but other people were on a different page. Xiao Heng's junior assistant strutted toward them with several celebrities clustered around her. She snorted and said, What a rare guest, mighty manager Yi. I didn't expect you to attend Xiao Heng's birthday banquet. I'm truly thankful to you for giving so much face. The junior assistant evidently heard Gong Su's earlier words. Upon seeing this, everyone waited for a good show. Yi Bai was probably in for a stroke of bad luck now. Han Xinyu and the others were also worried. Fei Yong was prepared to mediate the matter when Yi Wanwan glanced at the junior assistant and expressionlessly answered, You're welcome. The onlookers, Xiao Heng, this woman seriously dared to talk. It appeared Yao Jiawen was right. This woman probably suffered a shock and went mad. The junior assistant insincerely smiled and said, I heard Sister Jiawen was indebted in your care a few days ago? The word care was darkly uttered. Xiao Heng was currently signed on to Emperor Sky Entertainment, and his current manager was Yao Jiawen. Yao Jiawen previously wanted to sign Luo Chun, Gong Su, and Jiang Yanran to herself, but the three of them wouldn't agree no matter what. After Xiao Heng was signed on, Yao Jiawen expressed her loyalty to Yi Yi every which way and managed to obtain Xiao Heng. This junior assistant was also her confidant. Yi Wanwan was pensive. It appeared Yao Jiawen complained about her to Xiao Heng after seeing a lack of activity from Hongxing Gang. The junior assistant spoke covertly, so nobody else understood, and merely thought the junior assistant was referring to how Yao Jiawen was previously Yi Wanwan's assistant. When they thought about this, everyone couldn't help but muse at the twist of fate. TSK, back then, Yao Jiawen was just Yi Bai's assistant, but now, she's the general manager of the Age of Immortals and has an awesome artist like Xiao Heng under her. Right? The wheel of fortune turns. The junior assistant laughed. I thought mighty manager Yi wouldn't ever return in her lifetime. What? Did you spend all your money and come back to fish for some more? Heh, that's true. It might be impossible for you to be a manager anymore, but this face of yours is still worth something. Right now, Yi Wanwan's father and brother had their power stolen, and the company was gone. Hence, anyone in the entertainment company could step on someone like her who didn't have any background, not to mention Xiao Heng's assistant. The junior assistant's words were extremely nasty, but she didn't fear anything with Xiao Heng's support. There also wasn't anyone present who dared to object to her. As expected, the whole hall was silent and merely watched the show. Feng Ying, your mouth could use some bleach. The silent air was pierced by a youthful cold voice. This time, it surprisingly wasn't Gong Su who spoke, it was Luo Chen. Gong Su was about to speak when Luo Chen beat him to it. He instantly looked at Luo Chen astonished. Damn. You've finally blown a fuse, little sheep. Gong Su murmured in shock. The female assistant chuckled. Heh, were you shamed into anger? What? Am I wrong? Luo Chen tightly clenched his fists and wanted to say something, but to his detriment, he had never been good with words and had to keep today's setting in mind, so he couldn't utter anything but you. Chapter 1780. For the female assistant, Feng Ying became more proud of herself when she saw Luo Chen at a loss for words. She said disparagingly, "Didn't your mighty manager Yi come running here today to curry Brother Xiao's good favor? Why is she pretending to be so virtuous? TSK, didn't she act like the entire entertainment industry was her domain? What? Is she scared now?" Feng Ying intentionally spoke in a volume that everyone could hear clearly. Do you know what this is called? It's called however strong you are, there's always someone stronger. Some people should grasp their own importance first. She's just grasping onto a rotten log, but still thinks she's hugging some golden thigh. How ridiculous. Xiao Heng stood on the side with his wine glass in hand, aloofly watching this ruckus. To him, these people were merely dogs with few uses. It was their honor to have their popularity leached by him. Feng Ying, what dog shit are you spouting? You're the one freaking grasping a rotten log. So what if the entertainment industry is my brother Ye's domain? Whenever Gong Su encountered something related to Yi Wanwan, he was much easier to detonate, and he would start to speak without thinking. As expected, his words stirred some trouble. Gong Su's words were equivalent to calling Xiao Heng a rotten log. PFT, what did Gong Su just say? The entertainment industry's Yi Bai's domain? Daring to say this kind of thing in front of someone from Stars Entertainment. An ignorant person is truly fearless. Feng Ying burst out laughing. Ha ha ha, the entertainment industry is your domain? You have quite the ego. Does Stars Entertainment have to obey your mighty manager Yi Ha? Feng Ying sounded like he was teasing an idiot, evoking another round of jeering laughter. Ha ha ha, that's right, that's right. She's so impressive, so of course Stars Entertainment has to obey her too. I'm going to die from laughter. Just who gave him the courage? Xiao Heng elegantly sipped from his glass and snorted, derision apparent on his face. He slowly walked over at last, and leisurely strolled toward them. He gracefully said, Miss Yi, I might not be too capable, but I do cherish old friendships. You took such good care of my manager previously, so I can't stand by and do nothing now that you've fallen on hard times. How about this? I happen to be lacking an assistant. Are you interested, Miss Yi? Yi Wanwan raised her brows slightly. An assistant? Admiration filled Feng Ying's face immediately. Brother Xiao, you're too nice. You still care about friendships with someone like her. She was once the director of the talent recruitment department and a golden manager, but was now publicly invited by Xiao Heng to become his assistant. They were slapping her face in front of everybody without a doubt. Ling Xiaozhe looked immensely satisfied. Hurry up and thank Brother Xiao. You're seriously one lucky bastard. Ah! Feng Ling exclaimed abruptly. Brother Xiao, your assistant quota is full already. What should we do? Xiao Heng intentionally pretended to be clueless. It's full. Feng Ling cheerfully replied. However, I'm still missing an errand girl. So how about you become my assistant, Miss Yi? Feng Ling mockingly looked at Yi Wanwan. Mighty Manager Yi, you won't think the position is too low, right? Unfortunately, our brother Xiao has very high standards for his assistants, so I'm afraid you're only qualified to run errands for me here. Fuck you. Before Gong Su could finish cursing, Yi Wanwan extended her arm and blocked Gong Su behind her. Then she nonchalantly said, Heh, Mr. Xiao wants to hire me as an assistant? I'm afraid you can't afford it. Chapter 1785. Xiaoheng narrowed his eyes and Fengning guffawed. Our Xiaoheng can't afford you? There isn't anyone brother Xiao can't afford in this entire entertainment industry. What loftiness are you holding? What? Did you want to be Xiaoheng's manager? Utterly delusional. Yi Wanwan aloofly replied. His manager? I have quite high standards for my artists, so I'm afraid Mr. Xiao doesn't qualify either. Fengning became furious instantly and she screeched. Yi Bai, I think you want to die. Fengning wasn't the only one. Everyone also looked at Yi Wanwan like she was an idiot. Yi Bai is probably an idiot, right? Why is she spouting such irrelevant crockery at a time like this? Right. She actually said Xiaoheng isn't qualified and he can't afford her? Who does she think she is? Even Star's golden manager has to give some face to Xiaoheng. This woman is simply absurd. That's right. It's already an enormous favor that Xiaoheng is willing to hire her as his assistant. How ungrateful. Doesn't she know how she's fallen? Does she think she's still the Yi Bai from back then? Which celebrity in the entertainment industry would follow her? Even a nobody wouldn't jump into her fire pit. Inside the banquet hall, everyone's gazes brimmed with scorn and derision. Fengning arrogantly ridiculed. You're going to make me die laughing. Yi Bai, why don't you take a good look at yourself first? You think you can hope to become Xiaoheng's manager? You're probably. In the midst of Fengying's harsh tirade, hurried footsteps and a wave of gasps came from the hall's entrance. Everyone reflexively turned to the door and saw the extraordinarily handsomely dressed Fu Mingxi strolling on the red carpet with the stars on his trail and entering the hall. A single glance revealed how elaborately dressed Fu Mingxi was. He was more handsome and eye-catching than normal today, eliciting gasps and exclamations everywhere he went. He was the hottest international superstar in Star's entertainment, and achieved great success in Hollywood as well. His hands from the array of major international awards he won. Most importantly, his stunning figure and looks caused countless girls to go crazy over him. No one could rival his status in the entertainment industry. However, aside from official functions, he rarely appeared in public and never attended social functions in the industry. It was harder than ascending to the heavens for the media to catch a glimpse of him. The price of any gossip and scandals concerning Fu Mingxi had skyrocketed to outer space. Wow. Who am I freaking seeing? Fu Mingxi. It's Stars Entertainment's Fu Mingxi. Aha! My God. Even Fu Mingxi is attending Xiaoheng's birthday party. Doesn't Fu Mingxi never attend this kind of function? Xiaoheng has proved himself again. His face is incredible. Ah. He's seriously so handsome that I can't close my legs. Mingxi. Brother Fu. Best actor Fu. Everyone instantly forgot about Yi Wanwan and her cohort and swarmed toward Fu Mingxi. Xiaoheng was already notified by Fu Mingxi's manager that he wouldn't be there today, so it was a jolt to Xiaoheng's mind to unexpectedly see Fu Mingxi. Fu Mingxi's manager was also present. He himself was astonished by Fu Mingxi's appearance. Didn't Mingxi say he wasn't coming? Why's he here now? This is great. He's finally listening to me. The manager was excited out of his mind. Catching sight of everyone's fervor and admiration, pride and self-pleasure flitted through Xiaoheng's eyes. He straightened his cuffs and self-assuredly walked toward Fu Mingxi. Brother Fu, thank you for attending my birthday banquet. Fu Mingxi was swift as a shooting star and nearly sprinted toward Xiaoheng. Before Xiaoheng could finish his greeting, Fu Mingxi pelted him with insults. Xiaoheng, what the fuck is wrong with you? How dare you try to steal someone from me? Chapter 1786. For tonight's birthday party, many people wanted to show off, so they started a live stream. Hence, the scene just now was broadcast onto the internet, and Fu Mingxi saw everything from a live stream. After that, he didn't have time to keep entangling himself with Big Dipper anymore, and directly charged over with his sword drawn. Everyone was flabbergasted by Fu Mingxi unleashing his wrath all of a sudden, and stood in their spots in a daze. Fu Mingxi's manager was also stunned. What's going on? Regardless of the situation, calm down Mingxi. Your public persona is collapsing. Fu Mingxi always presented a polite, graceful, and gentlemanly public persona to the outside world. As Fu Mingxi's manager, he knew Fu Mingxi occasionally had a rather different side in private. However, he was very dedicated to his work and never displayed it publicly. He didn't expect Fu Mingxi to suddenly explode today. Xiaoheng was taken aback and reflexively said, "What's wrong, brother Fu? Do you have some misunderstanding?" Fu Mingxi managed to calm down slightly, but cold fury was still apparent on his face. "Misunderstanding? Weren't you stealing from me just now?" "Stealing from you? What do you mean?" Xiaoheng was further puzzled. "There must be some misunderstanding here. I'll definitely explain it to you later, but thank you for coming, brother Fu." Xiaoheng evidently didn't want to clash with Fu Mingxi. Fu Mingxi also regained his cold and elegant persona now. "No need. I came here to accompany someone." "Came here to accompany someone? Fu Mingxi didn't come here to attend my birthday party?" Whose face was big enough to make Fu Mingxi accompany them to attend something? Xiaoheng's expression darkened slightly, but quickly recovered. He politely asked, "May I ask which senior brother Fu accompanied here?" Someone who could make Fu Mingxi accompany them had to be a monumental figure. Fu Mingxi ignored Xiaoheng and passed by him to walk toward Yi Wanwan. Yi Wanwan was trying her best to lower her presence and pretend to act unfamiliar with him, but to her despair, Fu Mingxi had very sharp eyes and shot toward her like an arrow. "Brother Yi, why didn't you wait for me?" Fu Mingxi was very tactful and changed his form of address rather quickly. Xiaoheng, who was trailing behind him, was startled. "You know Yi Bai, brother Fu?" His attentive assistant following him was also astonished and blurted out, "How do you know someone like this, brother Fu?" Fu Mingxi snorted and glanced at the duo. "Heh, weren't you having a cheerful time poaching my manager just now? Now you're asking me if I know her?" Feng froze in shock. What? What did Fu Mingxi just say? Yi Bai's his manager? Fu Mingxi's suddenly forsaken manager, who was walking toward them from the crowd, was dumbfounded. If Yi Bai is Fu Mingxi's manager, then who am I? On the other side, Gong Su's eyes also shot open. What the heck? Am I hearing things? Since when did Brother Yi become Fu Mingxi's manager? Yi Wanwan exasperatedly glanced at Fu Mingxi. Since when did I become your manager? Fu Mingxi humbly said, Brother Fu, I know I'm not gifted at all, but I'll work hard. Won't you think about it? As soon as Fu Mingxi said that, everyone in the banquet hall practically felt their glasses dropping and shattering on the floor. When Xiaoheng bestowed Yi Bai with an assistant position earlier, they thought it was a benevolent gift, and Yi Bai was arrogant and ungrateful. They never expected to turn around and astonishingly watch a super big name like Fu Mingxi begging Yi Bai to be his manager. Chapter 1787. Yi Wanwan was at a loss for words as she looked at Fu Mingxi. Was this guy acting or really wanted her to be his manager? Brother Yi, how about it? Accept me. Fu Mingxi suggested cheerfully. Yi Wanwan. Everyone looked at Fu Mingxi before their gazes landed on Yi Wanwan in disbelief. Fu Mingxi was considered a top-notch artist in the entertainment industry. Not only did he walk the international route, but he was also a genuinely popular artist from Stars Entertainment. Now though, Fu Mingxi was actually shamelessly bothering Yi Wanwan in front of everyone, and demanding her to be his manager. How was this possible? Everyone finally understood why Fu Mingxi claimed Xiaoheng was poaching someone from him. Xiaoheng darkly turned to Yi Wanwan. It had to be said that Yi Wanwan's looks and figure were considered superb, and quite rare even in the entertainment industry. It wasn't strange that she managed to attract someone like Fu Mingxi. Hey brother Fu, the things you say. Feng Ying looked at Fu Mingxi. Brother Fu, you're Stars Entertainment's popular best actor. How can someone like Yi Wanwan, whose mistakes pile to be as high as a mountain, and who fled after embezzling Age of Immortals funds, be your manager? Fu Mingxi aloofly glanced at Xiaoheng's assistant. Who do you think you are? I'm talking to Brother Yi right now. Who said you could talk here? Then Fu Mingxi turned to Xiaoheng. I'm very disappointed in you, Xiaoheng. What kind of setting is this? Why are you allowing your dog to rabidly bite people instead of having it on a leash? Xiaoheng's expression further darkened, while Feng Ying gritted her teeth. However, this was Fu Mingxi talking, so she didn't dare to counter him. The only one here who would dare to insult Xiaoheng like this was probably Fu Mingxi. Heh. Xiaoheng chuckled. Brother Fu, there's no need to harm our brotherhood because of a woman. Am I right? Right, you motherfucker. Fu Mingxi cursed uncharacteristically. Fu Mingxi's manager's face turned ghastly pale. It was over. It was over now. Fu Mingxi's public persona was going to collapse. Fu Mingxi, don't be ungrateful for the face I'm showing you. I'm giving you face and calling you Brother Fu. But if I don't give you face, you're less than a dog to me. Xiaoheng's eyes frostily glinted as he stared at Fu Mingxi. Everyone looked at each other. Xiaoheng truly wasn't exaggerating. Stars Entertainment had 3 major branches in China, and Xiaoheng's grandfather was the director of one of those 3 branches. As for Fu Mingxi, he was Stars Entertainment's popular artist, but he didn't seem to have any special background to other people. The only people in the entire Stars Corporation who knew Fu Mingxi was Stars Corporation's big boss grandson was one of the branch directors of Stars Entertainment and Fu Mingxi's manager, who found out by surprise without other people knowing. You freaking! Hearing Xiaoheng calling him less than a dog, Fu Mingxi's eyes shot open in fury and he dashed forward to punch him. Fu Mingxi's manager turned pale with fright and instantly went up to stop Fu Mingxi. Calm down. Don't go crazy. Your public persona, my brother. Remember your public persona in the hearts of thousands of girls. If Fu Mingxi really punched Xiaoheng, the consequences would be no joke. Chapter 1788. Fu Mingxi took a deep breath and squashed his impulse to ruthlessly beat Xiaoheng up. Xiaoheng looked at Fu Mingxi and Yi Wanwan and snorted. This was his home field, and everyone had to act according to his wishes. Fu Mingxi was no exception. Suddenly, a round of knocking was heard from a nearby window. Big Dipper and 7 Star were leaning against the window from the outside, and Big Dipper was looking at Fu Mingxi scornfully. Say bro, you're quite incapable. Look at how cowardly you are. Yet you want to follow sis, brother Yi? Hurry and go home to have your grandpa put you to sleep already. Fu Mingxi's temper shot up instantly, and he glared at Big Dipper. What did you say? I'm scared? That's right. Aren't you scared? Big Dipper sneered. Ah, you coward. If Second Elder knew he had a grandson as cowardly as you, he would probably get so angry he would kick off his coffin's lid. Both 7 Star and Yi Wanwan were taken back. Second Elder kicking off his coffin's lid? 7 Star looked at Big Dipper. Second Elder isn't dead yet. Your grandfather is the dead one. Fu Mingxi angrily shouted. Big Dipper nodded. That's right. My grandfather died a long time ago. How did you know? Big Dipper, I think you're the cowardly bastard. Stop spouting rubbish. Fu Mingxi impatiently said. Eat. Everyone knows who the cowardly bastard is. That Xiaoheng dude is calling you less than a dog. But you actually aren't beating him up. If he dared to insult me like that, I'd kick open his head. Look at your cowardice. You're less than my bro Gong Su. I'm less than him. Fu Mingxi incredulously pointed at Gong Su. You're less than bro Gong Su. My bro might not be too capable, but at least he acts like a feral dog who ripped off his leash. Big Dipper replied. Gong Su looked at Big Dipper dumbstruck. Thank you bro, fuck. At being humiliated like this, Fu Mingxi, who had never uttered profanities before, instantly cursed. Scram. Fu Mingxi kicked his manager to the side and broke free. Then in front of everyone, he pulled Xiaoheng towards him before Xiaoheng could react. Fu Mingxi, are you crazy? Xiaoheng coldly hollered. Fuck you. Fu Mingxi ruthlessly backhanded Xiaoheng's face to everyone's shock. Who said you could call me by my name? After asking that, Fu Mingxi backhanded Xiaoheng 2 more times. Ah, Fu Mingxi bro, you still aren't too capable. You're too weak. Isn't Second Elder feeding you? You're weaker than bro Gong Su. Big Dipper sighed at Fu Mingxi. Gong Su. Following Big Dipper's continuous ridicule, Fu Mingxi's eyes reddened. When had he ever humiliated himself like this? Especially in front of President Bai Feng. Fu Mingxi kicked Xiaoheng in the shoulder before pouncing on the other man and sitting on him. Xiaoheng desperately put up a life or death struggle, and the duo coiled into a ball. Security. Help! Feng Ying immediately walked up and harshly pushed Fu Mingxi away. Bro, you're still incapable. This woman is climbing all over you, But you aren't beating her up? Big Dipper turned to Gong Su. Gong Su, my bro, if it were you, would you hit her? Gong Su reflexively nodded without any thought and blurted, I would. Fu Mingxi immediately turned around and slapped the junior assistant, shoving him several meters away. Chapter 1789 Freaking shut your mouth. Ling Xiaojia harshly rebuked Big Dipper. How did these two things burrow in here? They were actually clinging onto the window to provoke Fu Mingxi to hit Xiaoheng. Old Seven, this Sunny is insulting you. Big Dipper looked at Seven Star. Seven Star glanced at Big Dipper. He's insulting you. Big Dipper became furious immediately and pointed at Ling Xiaojia through the window. You bastard, come out here. If I don't beat the shit out of you today, I won't be your grandfather. Before Ling Xiaojia could respond, Big Dipper turned to Gong Su. Bro, help me beat him up. Gong Su was taken back. He wants me to beat Ling Xiaojia up? Although he did want to, it didn't seem too appropriate in this kind of setting. Gong Su, my bro, help me punch him. Look at your cowardice. And I was even praising you just now. Don't say you know me from now on. I can't humiliate myself like that, Big Dipper announced with disappointment when he saw Gong Su rooted to his spot, unmoving. Bro, Big, don't. I'll help you punch him. Gong Su became spirited instantly and mercilessly clobbered Ling Xiaojia's face with his fist. Bastard. How dare you insult my bro Big? I'm gonna kill you. Although Gong Su and Ling Xiaojia were both rubbish fighters in Big Dipper's eyes, Gong Su was slightly stronger than Ling Xiaojia in every aspect. Gong Su trained nearly every week, so it didn't take much effort for him to beat Ling Xiaojia up. That's right, Gong Su, my bro, punch him. Kick his head. Ah, your ligaments aren't so hot. Jump up to kick his head. Big Dipper shouted loudly as he intently watched Gong Su. Bro Big, I'm not as awesome as you. I can't jump up, so I can only use my fist to punch his head. Gong Su's words were quickly accompanied by a punch to Ling Xiaojia's head. Xiaoheng's birthday party had turned into complete mayhem. Several artists who had a good relationship with Xiaoheng all came forward to help Xiaoheng, but how could they be a match for Fu Mingxi? A punch each, and they were sent sprawling to the floor. Fu Mingxi's strength might not hold a candle to Big Dipper and the others, but he was second elder's grandson, so how could normal people defeat Fu Mingxi? Sweat soaked Fu Mingxi's manager's forehead. It was all over. Fu Mingxi's public persona was utterly wrecked. However, thankfully he discovered Fu Mingxi was the grandson of Stars Corporation's big boss sometime earlier. Otherwise he might also be standing on Xiaoheng's side by now. Fu Mingxi was extremely headstrong, and wanted to start as the most minor artist trainee after coming to Stars Entertainment, so he never revealed his identity to anyone or mentioned anything to his manager. But thankfully Fu Mingxi's manager was clever and discovered Fu Mingxi's true identity, so the team he chose would win for sure. Fu Mingxi, you motherfucker. You fucking dared to hit me. You're over. I'm going to make Stars Entertainment boycott you. I want you dead. Xiaoheng said to Fu Mingxi maliciously, sporting a face beaten black and blue. After such chaos erupted, the live stream was long turned off, and everyone retreated, afraid to bring disaster upon themselves. They couldn't afford to offend either Xiaoheng or Fu Mingxi. Han Xinyu, Luo Chen, and the others all wore strange expressions. Fu Mingxi actually assaulted Xiaoheng on Brother Ye's behalf. Of course, the main reason Fu Mingxi assaulted Xiaoheng was probably because of Big Dipper, not Brother Yi. Chapter 1790. This is my first time seeing Fu Mingxi acting like this. He probably took a fancy to Yi Bai. Ha, I didn't expect Yi Bai to have this wild card still. Truly not bad. In everyone's eyes, Fu Mingxi acted like this because he had an affair with Yi Wanwan, and Yi Wanwan dared to return without any scruples and appear in public because she had support and latched onto a thick thigh like Fu Mingxi. The birthday party ended earlier than planned and Fu Mingxi was taken away by policemen. Around the evening, Yi Wanwan had Director Zhou step in and bail Fu Mingxi out, and avoided all the reporters crouching nearby. Sorry for inconveniencing you, bro Zhou, Fu Mingxi said while looking at Director Zhou. Director Zhou waved his hand. What inconvenience is this? Xiaoheng was the blind one. You could have hit Xiaoheng until he was crippled if you wanted to, Mr. Fu. Xiao Heng and his grandfather probably won't want to stay with stars anymore. What kind of cosmic joke was this? Fu Mingxi was the big boss grandson. If Xiao Heng and his grandfather knew about Fu Mingxi's identity, they would probably have to apologize on their knees. President Yi, tomorrow is Star's anniversary celebration, so I hope you can attend. Director Zhou looked at Yi Wanwan with an ingratiating smile. Yi Wanwan mulled it over before nodding. Director Zhou was over the moon that Yi Wanwan agreed. This was the big boss. Being able to invite her to appear at Star's anniversary celebration was a great accomplishment on his part. Oh right, does Stars have business dealings with Emperor Sky Entertainment? Yi Wanwan asked Director Zhou. We do have business dealings with them, President Yi. As you know, an entity like Emperor Sky has to offer a great amount of tributes to Stars Entertainment every year, so we also toss them a few suitable international assignments without much significance. Also, we own quite a bit of Emperor Sky Entertainment stocks and are considered their investors, Director Zhou explained. Stars Entertainment's anniversary celebration happened to be held in China this year. During the celebration, big names in China's entertainment industry like Yi Yi, Gu Yueza, and Yao Jiawen would all attend in their best attire. Yi Wanwan naturally knew about this. Now that Yi Wanwan had a springboard like Stars Corporation, many things would be easier to resolve. At Stars Entertainment's anniversary celebration tomorrow, she would attend as Stars Corporation's biggest boss. Aside from the top artists in China's entertainment industry, there would also be many international artists from other countries. The bigger the setting, the more interesting it would be, no? At a different Stars branch in China, an elderly man wore a dark expression on his face as he stared at the battered Xiao Heng. Grandpa, that dogshit Fu Mingxi, you have to destroy him. Xiao Heng ferociously exclaimed. Humph. The elderly man snorted. Tomorrow is Stars Entertainment's anniversary celebration. At that time, I will publicly announce a ban on Fu Mingxi. Also, many international artists under Stars Entertainment will attend tomorrow, as well as Emperor Sky's Yi Yi and her fiancé, the CEO of Gu Group, Gu Yueza. Don't disgrace me. I understand, Grandpa. Oh right. And that Yi Bai. Xiao Heng fumed with rage between gritted teeth. Don't worry. I already had people spread news that Yi Bai sank her claws into Fu Mingxi. I will shatter their reputation and make them die tragically. A frightening glint flashed in the elderly man's eyes. An antique like Yi Bai actually dared to provoke his grandson and Stars Entertainment. She seriously didn't know her limits. Chapter 1791. After Xiao Heng's birthday party yesterday, public discussion had gone completely rampant, burrowing into every crevice. Fu Mingxi and Xiao Heng's respective fans had also tumbled into a shouting mess. Thankfully though, the live stream turned off before Xiao Heng and Fu Mingxi started fighting, or else the consequences would have been inconceivable. Even so, Xiao Heng and Fu Mingxi's fans both labeled Yi Wanwan the culprit of this disaster. At a certain popular forum in China, tomorrow's hope. In the end, no matter how we fight, the cause of conflict between Xiao Heng and our Mingxi was that shameless Yi Bai. Protect my Xiao Heng. I was wondering, didn't they say Yi Bai fled earlier? Why is she back now and latched onto Fu Mingxi? It looks like Fu Mingxi's taste is pretty meh. He's seriously blind. Angel and devil. Didn't they say Yi Bai fled after embezzling Age of Immortals funds? Why isn't there anyone calling the police to arrest her now that she showed up? How could they allow this kind of woman to wreak havoc at Xiao Heng's birthday party? Before, Xiao Heng had a wonderful relationship with Fu Mingxi, and they were close as brothers. Now because of this lousy slut, I support doxing her. Protect my Xiao Heng. A cheap slut like her only has money in her eyes. She must have gotten attracted to Fu Mingxi's popularity. She probably also wants to seduce my Xiao Heng, or else why would Xiao Heng and Fu Mingxi have started arguing? Also, it's true that cheap slut embezzled the Age of Immortals funds, but there probably isn't enough evidence to sue her. Anyway, this kind of woman is the scum of society's food chain. People like her only know how to leech off other people's hard work. If it wasn't for her face, she would probably be begging on the streets right now. Little Cece, Star's anniversary celebration is about to begin in a moment, and they're live broadcasting it. I heard Mingxi is actually bringing that woman there. Get ready for an explosion any second. Inside Stars Entertainment's office, Zhou Tao sneered as he read the storm of abuse that enveloped the forum. These ignorant spectators were saying Yi Bai was hugging Fu Mingxi's thigh. Without sugarcoating it, it was actually Fu Mingxi who was latching onto Yi Bai's thigh. It was true that Fu Mingxi was the grandson of Star's boss, but who was Yi Bai? Her hidden identity was the big boss of Star's boss. Just what are these netizens thinking? They don't even know the whole situation, but they started pounding on their keyboards to insult people. Fu Mingxi's manager asked as he turned to the nearby Big Dipper. Isn't that normal? Big Dipper took a bite from the apple in his hand. What's there to fuss about? When I used a VPN to access the internet before, people frequently insulted my goddess. I'm used to it. True. I have to see if Mingxi is ready. Fu Mingxi's manager closed his laptop and left the lounge. At the same time, at the venue for Star's anniversary celebration, countless media reporters had already arrived and were dispersed everywhere. When Fu Mingxi's manager arrived, they instantly surrounded him. Where's Fu Mingxi? At Xiaoheng's birthday party yesterday, there was news that Fu Mingxi hit Xiaoheng because of Yi Bai. Is this true? The internet previously said that Fu Mingxi and Xiaoheng were friends, so why did Fu Mingxi hit Xiaoheng? Was it really because of a woman? Fu Mingxi's manager glanced at the numerous reporters and said with irritation, Mingxi hit him because he wanted to. What? Is that not allowed? The reporters all looked at each other, bewildered and incredulous. Chapter 1792 Attending in Sunday's best. Fu Mingxi's manager actually said Fu Mingxi hit Xiaoheng because he wanted to. Say, are you bored off your ass all day long? Fu Mingxi's manager expressionlessly continued. Have you never fought? Have you never argued with someone? Then he ditched the reporters around him and fled without a trace. Yi Yi's here. At that moment, an elaborately dressed Yi Yi appeared in front of everyone. Next to Yi Yi was a man wearing a silver suit. The man had an aloof smile on his face as he stayed close to Yi Yi. The CEO of the Gu Group, Yi Yi's fiancée Gu Yueza, is also here. Aside from them, an elderly man also arrived with staff clustered around him. Even Mr. Yi Hongwei is here. Several reporters were surprised to see Yi Hongwei. Yi Hongwei was the chairman of the Yi Group, but had receded from the public eye for many years due to his old age. To the media, Stars Entertainment's influence was terrifying immense indeed, since even the long reclusive Yi Hongwei had to come in person to give his regards. Miss Yi, Mr. Gu. Many reporters swiftly rushed toward Yi Yi and Gu Yueza like a torrential river. Hello. Yi Yi greeted the reporters with a smile. Miss Yi, we heard that Emperor Sky Entertainment and Stars Entertainment have reached an initial agreement, and Stars Entertainment will invest huge funds to help Emperor Sky produce international artists. Is this true? Gu Yueza walked forward and quietly answered, That's right. We have started our collaboration with Stars Entertainment, and Stars Entertainment will soon become Emperor Sky Entertainment's investor too. With Stars Entertainment's support, Emperor Sky Entertainment would be able to leave China and enter the international scene and soar into success. From now on, Emperor Sky Entertainment's #1 position in China would be strengthened and become unshakable. Yi Hongwei was also glowing with health and vigor, and was immensely satisfied with Yi Yi and Gu Yueza. Alright. Miss Yi, do you know what happened at Xiaoheng's birthday party yesterday? A reporter looked at Yi Yi. Yi Hongwei's expression instantly filled with displeasure. Of course I've heard tidbits of such a major matter. Yi Yi replied with a nod. Everyone knows that Yi Bai is a member of the Yi family as well. Yi Bai previously embezzled the Age of Immortals funds. However, after Yi Bai returned, why wasn't this account settled, and an investigation into Yi Bai launched from the corresponding police department? Could it be that the Yi family helped Yi Bai make up the funds? Yes. Yi Yi nodded generously. No matter what, Yi Bai is a member of the Yi family. Yi Bai's father and brother have been arrested already, and we don't want to see Yi Bai follow in their steps. I hope that everyone will stop pursuing this matter. Emperor Sky Entertainment has properly handled it. Miss Yi is truly generous. But Yi Bai doesn't seem too grateful. At Xiao Heng's birthday party yesterday, Fu Mingxi completely changed from his previous image and even started arguing with Xiao Heng because of Yi Bai. News also leaked out later that Fu Mingxi assaulted Xiao Heng because of Yi Bai. Now both artists' fans have started cursing Emperor Sky Entertainment and the Yi family on top of Yi Bai. What does the elderly sir have to say about this? A reporter inquired as they walked toward Yi Hongwei. Chapter 1793. Yi Hongwei snorted and replied with a dark expression. I've never had a granddaughter like her. All she cares about is money. She would do anything for money. There's no point mentioning a fiend like her. Ever since news erupted of Yi Wanwan embezzling the of Immortals funds, and the Yi family's name was smeared in conjunction, Yi Hongwei wanted nothing more than to personally strange Yi Wanwan to death. Thankfully, Yi took out some funds to fill the Age of Immortals gap. Yesterday news erupted again of Yi Wanwan ensnaring Fu Mingxi and causing Fu Mingxi to assault Xiao Heng. How could this kind of mongrel be the granddaughter of him, Yi Hongwei? He originally held hope for her, but a leopard couldn't change its spots. Gu Yueza was also sneering and inwardly rejoicing in the fact that he didn't choose Yi Wanwan back then. It was the wisest choice of his life. Before the reporters could continue hounding them, they saw Fu Mingxi and his manager walking toward the guest seating. At the sight of Fu Mingxi, the reporters immediately surrounded them. Fu Mingxi, what's your relationship with Yi Bai? We heard you attacked Xiao Heng yesterday. May we ask about the reason? Right now, everyone on the internet says it was Yi Bai who instigated the trouble. Before Yi Wanwan left, she embezzled the Age of Immortals funds, so she's clearly a white-collar criminal. Don't you know this, Best Actor Fu? Faced with a tirade of questions, Fu Mingxi remained expressionless. No comment. Sis, brother Yi, let's go. Fu Mingxi turned around and suggested leaving to Yi Wanwan, who was standing behind him while surrounded by Big Dipper and Seven Star. Yi Bai. The reporters boiled with fervor instantly at the sight of Yi Wanwan. Gu Yueza derisively glanced at Yi Wanwan, his lips curling into a contemptuous sneer. Yi Bai, where did you go after embezzling the Age of Immortals funds? Do you know this is a crime? Some netizens say your father and brother's sentence is about to be announced, but you haven't visited your father and brother after returning to the country. Instead, you ensnared Fu Mingxi and wreaked havoc at Xiao Heng's birthday party. Get lost, all of you. Don't you find it hot, bunching up together? Big Dipper irritatedly waved his hands and pushed some reporters away. Yi Wanwan smiled politely at everyone. Apologies but no comment. Yi Bai, what identity are you using to attend Stars Entertainment's anniversary celebration tonight? The guest list of Stars Entertainment's anniversary celebration was announced a long time ago, but you didn't appear to have been included. May I ask if you used Fu Mingxi to come here to gather more knowledge, or was there another reason? Yi Hongwei looked at the nearby Yi Wanwan and trembled with anger. Disgraceful little bastard. Under Big Dipper and Seven Stars' devout protection, Yi Wanwan and Fu Mingxi soon arrived at the guest seating area. Stars Entertainment's anniversary celebration was being presented entirely through live stream. Currently, all the forums were exploding with activity, especially after the reporters' interviews. Many netizens declared they would remain nearby and block Yi Bai from leaving after the event ended. The spite on the internet had encompassed every comer and was an abominable sight. Aside from international artists from Stars Entertainment, there were also artists from Emperor Sky Entertainment and the Age of Immortals sitting in the guest area. Luo Chen, Gong Su, Jiang Yanran, and Han Xinyu were seated near the back and couldn't make their way forward, so they were very worried when they saw Yi Wanwan sitting down next to Fu Mingxi at the front. They didn't understand why Yi Wanwan would attend this kind of event at such a crucial time. Wasn't she pushing herself into the heart of the storm? Chapter 1794. Soon, Xiao Heng also entered and sat to the left of Fu Mingxi. He looked at Yi Wanwan and Fu Mingxi with a sneer. Today he'd watch as these two died. Hello Xiezhiji languidly walked onto the stage in a red suit. Damn! I'm not seeing things right. Xiezhiji. I was wondering why I didn't see Xiezhiji on the guest list. He actually took up being a host at Stars Entertainment's anniversary. Xiezhiji hasn't appeared in a long time, right? My idol is so awesome. Xiezhiji was a top-tier artist in China's entertainment industry, and was a legend who reached the peak the day he debuted and never experienced any low points in his career. I'm very honored to serve as the host of Stars Entertainment's anniversary celebration this year. Everyone shouldn't be too unfamiliar with me, right? A mesmerizing smile turned up on Xiezhiji's face. Many male artists started clapping while a myriad of female artists started cheering in excitement. All right. I won't waste any time. Let's welcome Emperor Sky Entertainment's representative to speak. Xiezhiji continued. Gu Yueze and Yi Yi both walked onto the stage, the focus of millions of people, and they announced that Emperor Sky Entertainment had determined a battle strategy with Stars Entertainment. Yao Jiawen stared at Yi Wanwan with bone-chilling frostiness. Emperor Sky Entertainment had determined a battle strategy with Stars Entertainment, so from now on there was no possibility for Yi Bai to make a comeback. The entire entertainment industry would belong to them. Congratulations, elderly Sir Yi. Haha, Mr. Yi is rather blessed. You have such a wonderful granddaughter and grandson-in-law. Some of the entertainment industry's seniors started congratulating Yi Hongwei. Yi Hongwei nodded in response, his face glowing with satisfaction. After Yi Yi and Gu Yueze left the stage, Xiaoheng quickly walked up. I'm on stage today because there's a matter that will keep plaguing me unless I tell everyone, Xiaoheng said. The venue abruptly became quiet. Everyone knew that the matter Xiaoheng was talking about was probably the events of yesterday's birthday party. Last night, Fu Mingxi vilely insulted me and even assaulted me at my birthday party. There was also Yi Bai, who I didn't invite but crashed my party without permission, and incited Fu Mingxi to attack me. I'd like to ask everyone, what kind of proper behavior is this? Everyone's gazes instantly landed on Yi Wanwan and Fu Mingxi. Yao Jiawen suddenly stood up and righteously exclaimed, all of us here know Best Actor Fu's character, so it's obviously Yi Bai's fault. Yi Bai previous embezzled all of the Age of Immortals funds and fled the country. I have no idea how someone like her managed to land a spot in the guest area today. Many artists surveyed Yi Wanwan with odd expressions. Xiezhiji turned to Yi Wanwan with some surprise in his expression, but didn't say anything. As they spoke, an elderly man walked onto the stage. This elderly man was Xiaoheng's grandfather, a branch director of Stars Entertainment in China. I'm very regretful that this kind of situation occurred at our Stars Entertainment. Fu Mingxi has clearly violated some of Stars Entertainment's rules and seriously damaged Stars Entertainment's reputation. Hence, I hereby announce that Stars Entertainment will terminate its artist contract with Fu Mingxi, the elderly man coldly announced. Chapter 1795. Let's welcome the boss of Stars to come onto the stage. At this point in the live broadcast, the insults and accusations directed at Yi Wanwan on China's various major forums had reached their peak. Some people even declared they were going to kill Yi Wanwan. The majority of Fu Mingxi's fans also aimed their attacks at Yi Wanwan in order to erase the blame on Fu Mingxi. They all hoped everyone to give Fu Mingxi a chance, because Fu Mingxi was merely bewitched by Yi Wanwan. Mingxi's love. This bloody bitch has ruined Mingxi. Protect my Xiaoheng. She deserves everything. A gold digger like her seriously wants to transform into a phoenix? Who does she think she is? How dare she incite Fu Mingxi to attack my Xiaoheng? Little hopping bear. A woman like her deserves to be turned into mincemeat. And Mingxi, how could he be bewitched by this woman and bring her to attend Stars Entertainment's anniversary celebration? What right does she have to sit there? Who said she's qualified to attend Stars Entertainment's anniversary? From the guest area, Director Zhou and Fu Mingxi looked at Xiaoheng and his grandfather like they were idiots. A branch director wanted to fire the grandson of Stars Corporation's boss. Was he freaking tired of living? Fu Mingxi's manager also shook his head in exasperation. This matter had truly gotten out of hand. Emperor Sky Entertainment's higher-ups were all looking at Yi Wanwan with smirks. Gu Yueze chuckled mockingly. It's rather a feat for a woman to humiliate herself to the entire world. Yi Hongwei harshly glared at Yi Wanwan, and tightly clutched his crutch with both hands. If it weren't for this special occasion, Yi Hongwei probably would have raised his crutches and started hitting Yi Wanwan already. Xie Zhizhi stood on the stage and laughed awkwardly. Next, please welcome Stars Entertainment's director Zhou and director Leon to the stage. Following Xie Zhizhi's words, Director Zhou and an elderly man with a head of white hair stood up and ascended the stage. The white-haired elderly man, Director Li, was the third branch director of Stars Entertainment and had a good relationship with Director Zhou. So Director Zhou told him everything already. Director Li first glanced at Yi Wanwan with a big smile, before turning to everyone else. Truthfully, I have nothing much to say. I just think the anniversary celebration this year is the most interesting and fun anniversary I've ever seen. Many reporters were confused by what Director Li meant. Director Zhou smiled faintly. I also don't have much to say. However, I should reveal a piece of news to everyone. The big boss of our Stars Corporation is also in attendance today. All hell broke loose at the venue and major web forums. Stars Corporation's big boss. It wasn't just Stars Entertainment. It was the entire Stars Corporation. Stars Corporation was involved in too many industries, and Stars Entertainment was merely a subsidiary of Stars Corporation. Ever since Stars Corporation was established, no one had ever seen an appearance from Stars Corporation's big boss. But this enigmatic big boss was actually attending today's event. Everyone curiously examined their surroundings. Really? Yi Yi also reflexively looked around her with astonishment. Gu Yueza became invigorated instantly. He would like to take a good look at Stars Corporation's big boss. Even Yi Hongwei straightened up and looked around him. Not just anybody could see Stars Corporation's big boss. Xiao Heng and his grandfather were startled. Chapter 1796 Yi Wanwan was Stars' big boss. Big boss is here? Xiao Heng looked at his grandfather. The elderly man frowned. I previously heard that Big Boss came to China, though we weren't the ones who received them. I originally thought they were just passing by, but they're actually attending this year's anniversary and Zhou Tao and Li Fu didn't tell me. Director Zhou smiled and made introductions. Next, we'll have our Stars Corporation's big boss come up and greet everyone. Thunderous applause and cheers clamored through the venue. The netizens on various platforms also held their breaths, and the flood of comments also slowed as everyone wanted to see the resplendence of Stars Corporation's big boss. However, on the monitor, all they saw was Yi Wanwan, dressed in a black female suit, standing up expressionlessly and walking toward the stage. At the venue, Yi Yi and Gu Yueza glanced at her aloofly. What the heck was this woman doing? Did she want to attract the attention of Stars' big boss, using this kind of method? How pitiful. Gu Yueza snorted. It appeared she's really gone mad. Yi also commented dryly. Some higher-ups and artists from Emperor Sky Entertainment stared at Yi Wanwan, bewildered. Fu Mingxi's manager looked at Yi Wanwan with astonishment. What's she doing? Did your partner go mad? Fu Mingxi glanced at his manager, disinclined to answer. In the back, Gong Su rubbed his eyes and turned to Luo Chen next to him. What is brother Yi doing? Luo Chen furrowed his brows and shook his head lightly. How would I know? An ominous feeling also surged through Han Xinyu. The Yi Bai he knew absolutely wouldn't do something like this in this kind of setting, and there was no way he'd believe Yi Bai was really doing this to attract the attention of Stars Corporation's big boss like others were saying. In China's various online platforms, the past drifted with the wind. Did that bloody bitch go mad? They're inviting Stars' big boss to go up on stage. Why's she standing up? The apple of daddy's eyes. Huh? Don't tell me she thinks Fu Mingxi's thigh isn't thick enough, so she wants to attract the eyes of Stars' big boss like this. Barbecue. Her? She wants to attract the attention of Stars' big boss? Does she really know what kind of figure Stars' big boss is? What kind of woman hasn't he seen? How could he take a fancy to this bloody bitch? I love Xiao Heng. Get down, get down. Back at the guest area of the venue, Yi Hongwei was flushed red and trembling with fury. He turned to Yi Yi and Gu Yueza. Why aren't you going up there and dragging that humiliating scoundrel back here? Does that little bastard want to completely disgrace our Yi family? What if she's blamed by Stars Corporation's big boss? How could our Yi family and Emperor Sky Entertainment shoulder this responsibility? However, Yi Wanwan had already arrived on stage. Long time no see, Xiezhizhi. Yi Wanwan softly greeted Xiezhizhi on the stage. Miss Yi, it's truly been a long time. I feel like it been a lifetime ago since we chatted over dinner, Xiezhizhi replied with a smile. Yi Wanwan sank into thought. It did seem like a lifetime ago. That woman even knows Xiezhizhi. Wait, no. I should say Xiezhizhi actually knows her. That's impossible, right? How could someone like Xiezhizhi know Yi Bai? And they look like friends. Some of the industry's celebrities were all stunned. Can everyone please be quiet? Yi Wanwan impatiently demanded with a furrow of her brows. Many artists looked displeased. Who did Yi Bai think she was by telling them to be quiet? Haha, don't be angry, boss. It's because this is everyone's first time meeting you, boss, so they can't help but be excited. It's everyone's honor that you could attend Stars Entertainment's anniversary celebration this year. On the stage, Director Zhou suddenly turned to Yi Wanwan and spoke with an ingratiating smile. Chapter 1797. Director Zhou stood next to Yi Wanwan with a gentle smile on his face, as his eyes ran over the venue. I believe everyone isn't too unfamiliar with this lady standing next to me. Her name is Yi Bai and she once single-handedly founded the Age of Immortals. However, Chairman Yi also has a different identity. I believe that everyone is unaware of the fact that Chairman Yi is also the top boss of our Stars Corporation aside from being the founder of the Age of Immortals. Let me emphasize that I'm not talking about Stars Entertainment solely. Chairman Yi is the top boss of the entire Stars Corporation. Haha, thanks to Director Zhou's numerous invitations, Chairman Yi reluctantly agreed to attend Stars' anniversary celebration this year. I'll represent every employee and artist under Stars Entertainment to thank Chairman Yi for gracing us with her presence. The elderly Director Li also hastily butted in. Everyone's eyes shot to Yi Wanwan. And some people's eyes were wide open and their mouths agape like they had seen a ghost. Silence. Following Director Zhou and Director Li's words, dead silence enveloped the venue, and even the drop of a needle could be heard. Director Zhou and Director Li were both top branch directors of Stars Entertainment in China, so there was no way they were lying. A matter like Stars Corporation's big boss showing up couldn't be spoken recklessly, and Director Zhou and Director Li absolutely wouldn't joke about this type of matter in this kind of setting. Otherwise, they might not be able to keep their jobs anymore. Xiao Heng was stupefied and reflexively turned to his similarly stunned grandfather. How's this possible? Xiao Heng's grandfather looked at the tranquil Yi Wanwan, his breathing growing heavy and sweat soaking his forehead. That woman, how's it possible? As one of the branch directors of Stars Entertainment, Xiao Heng's grandfather naturally knew that the big boss of Stars Corporation, Director Zhou, and Director Li mentioned was complete rubbish. It wasn't the big boss who came. It was Big Boss, alright? In other words, the big boss of Stars Corporation merely worked under this woman. Grandpa, she's Stars Corporation's big boss? How's that possible? Those two old geezers must be lying. They must be scheming something. Xiao Heng made accusations immediately. The elderly man instantly turned to Xiao Heng and ruthlessly backhanded his face. Grandpa! Xiao Heng clutched his face, baffled by his grandfather's slap. Shut up. His grandfather angrily glared at him. You've destroyed me, bastard. On the other hand, Yi Yi's expression was a bit dazed as she watched Yi Wanwan coolly standing on the stage. Next to Yi Yi, Gu Yueza was intently staring at the dazzling Yi Yi in the limelight, his expression becoming increasingly shocked. Yi Wanwan is the top boss of Stars Corporation. How is that possible? How could this be? What did Director Zhou and Director Li just say? Yi Wanwan is the boss of Stars Corporation? Yi Hongwei frowned deeply, thinking he had heard wrong. He knew Yi Wanwan's abilities, so what kind of cosmetic joke was it that Yi Wanwan could be the boss of Stars Corporation? That's absolutely impossible. Yao Jiawen's heart intensely pounded in her chest. Yi Bai absolutely couldn't be linked to the big boss of Stars Corporation. Chapter 1798. The platforms live broadcasting this event completely exploded. Don't wait for a Baron Gigi. Ha ha ha. I'm gonna die from laughter. What a good show. Where are those keyboard warriors who said Yi Bai is relying on Fu Mingxi to make a comeback? The Buddha jumps over the wall on my tongue. Haha, after all this commotion, Yi Bai turned out to be Stars Corporation's big boss. Xiaoheng? Fu Mingxi? To put it bluntly, they're all working for Yi Bai, right? Didn't those keyboard warriors want to lie in wait for Yi Bai? And those who claimed they were going to kill Yi Bai? I support you. Hurry and go. Don't humiliate yourself. I have a cute wife. I also saw someone saying they were going to ban Yi Bai and claim Yi Bai was a criminal for embezzling the Age of Immortals funds? How absurd. Stars Entertainment is just a minor company under Stars Corporation, and Yi Bai is the owner of Stars Corporation. Yet people think she embezzled the Age of Immortals funds? I admire her. Following the announcement of Yi Wanwan's identity, some of Yi Bai's earlier fans were instantly resurrected and launched into their roasting and face-slapping modes. As for those netizens who participated in the attack on Yi Bai, they were instantly drowned and roasted skinless, and not a single person dared to step forward and resist. Stars Corporation's big boss needed to latch onto Fu Mingxi's thigh. She needed to rely on Fu Mingxi to ruin Xiaoheng. Yi Bai probably only needed to say the word and both Fu Mingxi and Xiaoheng would become unemployed. At that moment, the artists familiar with Yi Bai, Luo Chun, Gong Su, Han Xinyu, etc., all looked like they had seen a ghost as they looked at Yi Wanwan. Damn. Brother Yi is the big boss of Stars Corporation? I'm not dreaming, right? Gong Su looked at Luo Chun and Jiang Yanran. I don't know either. Jiang Yanran shook her head. She'd never heard Yi Wanwan mention this. Even Stars Entertainment's director Zhou and director Li are saying this. Do you think it could be fake? Luo Chen might find it unbelievable, but two directors from Stars Entertainment announced it, so it had to be real. Then are we the same as princes? Gong Su asked dazedly. Han Xinyu, Luo Chen, Jiang Yanran. Then I should be a princess. Yi Hongwei suddenly stood up and looked at the two directors. Director Zhou? Director Li, you just said she was the owner of Stars Corporation. But that's impossible, right? Stars Corporation has been in operation for many years, but how old is she? Director Zhou glanced at Yi Hongwei and smiled aloofly. Elderly Sir Yi, what are you saying? Could Director Li and I dare to joke about something like this? Yi Hongwei knitted his brows as he stared at Yi Wanwan. If Yi Wanwan was the owner of Stars Corporation, why hadn't she ever mentioned it at home? Moreover, something like this was too absurd. Wanwan, since you're the owner of Stars Corporation, Emperor Sky Entertainment will merge with Stars Entertainment and become sister companies from now on. Yi Hongwei immediately ordered Yi Wanwan. However, Yi Wanwan didn't respond to him at all, nor did she even glance at him. Haha, since you've come up on stage, please speak a few words, Chairman Yi. Director Zhou said to Yi Wanwan genially. All right, since Director Zhou insists, I will say a few words. Yi Wanwan looked up and swept her eyes over the venue before calmly saying, Yesterday, Fu Mingxi did indeed attack Xiaoheng at Xiaoheng's birthday party, and it was my wish, relying on his popularity and background. Xiaoheng acts undisciplined and out of control, considering everyone else beneath him. He's humiliated his fellow artists several times and completely lost respect for the entertainment industry. Hence, I hereby announce that Stars Entertainment will one-sidedly terminate our work contract with our artist, Xiaoheng. Chapter 1799. Xiaoheng shot up and pointed at Yi Wanwan. What right do you have to terminate my contract? Are you the owner of Stars Corporation simply because you say you are? You. Before Xiaoheng could finish speaking, Director Zhou impatiently waved his hand and made the security forcefully escort Xiaoheng out of the venue. As for Xiaoheng's supporter, who's also his grandfather, he has disregarded the company's image and twisted the truth. From this moment onward, Stars Corporation will terminate our contract with him, and Director Zhou and Director Li will temporarily take charge of the branch he manages, as well as all the artists under him. Yi Wanwan continued. Excitement surfaced in Director Zhou and Director Li's eyes. They were going to share all the resources of another branch. This was too satisfying. Many reporters stepped forward to defend Xiaoheng's grandfather against this injustice. Chairman Yi, Xiaoheng's grandfather, Elder Wang, has accomplished many things for Stars Entertainment, but you're kicking him out of Stars Entertainment for a mere minor mistake. Isn't this too unreasonable? That's right. Don't you think your decision is too inappropriate, Chairman Yi? Yi Wanwan expressionlessly glanced at the inquiring reporters and indifferently responded, I'm the owner of Stars, so whatever I say is the principle. Do you have any other questions? The reporters looked at each other, rendered speechless. Next, I'll be addressing an issue related to Emperor Sky Entertainment. Yi Wanwan glanced at Yi Yi and Guyueza. I hereby announce that Stars Entertainment will terminate every partnership it has with Emperor Sky Entertainment. We will recover all of the artists that we transferred to Emperor Sky Entertainment and withdraw all funds. What? Yi Yi and Guyueza's expression snapped. If Yi Wanwan really did this, it would be an absolutely fatal blow to Emperor Sky Entertainment. Although Stars Entertainment would have to pay a penalty for one-sidedly terminating their contract, this compensation was nothing in the face of Emperor Sky Entertainment's subsequent damage. What did you say? Yi Hongwei stood up and angrily glared at Yi Wanwan. How dare you spout nonsense in this kind of setting? Yi Wanwan glanced at Yi Hongwei and dryly asked, What identity are you using to speak to me in this manner in this type of setting, Elder Yi? When Yi Mufan and Yi Xiaoting were wrongly accused, where was he? Why had he never believed in his son and grandson? When she was forced to leave China, where was he? Did he show any concern for her? When their whole family was in dire straits, where was her supposed grandfather? Moreover, since Yi Hongwei chose Yi Yi's family, it was the same as giving up on her family. Yi Hongwei had never admitted she was his granddaughter in the face of the reporter's inquiries. It was true that she had never been a member of the Yi family and didn't share any blood relationships with them. The only ones she needed to pay back were her parents and brother. As for the rest of the Yi family, they broke off all connections to her a long time ago. What did you say? I'm telling you, immediately take back what you just said and remerge Emperor Sky and Stars. Did you hear me? Yi Hongwei angrily shouted. Chairman Yi, are you threatening me? Yi Wanwan aloofly glanced at Yi Hongwei. Sao had a flam. Oh. Yi Wanwan smiled faintly. Then I'm very curious as to what you're relying on. Chapter 1800. Yi Wanwan coolly looked at Yi Hongwei, without a ripple of emotion in her eyes. Sister, how can you speak to grandfather like this? Yi Yi suddenly asked Yi Wanwan with a frown. The majority of the celebrities and reporters present knew Yi Wanwan's identity and knew that she was Yi Hongwei's granddaughter and was naturally a member of the Yi family. That's right, Yi Wanwan. Since you're the owner of Stars Corporation and also a member of the Yi family, logically speaking, Stars Corporation is considered an asset of the Yi family. So aren't you just intentionally angering grandfather like this? Gu Yueza hastily butted in as well. Gong Su, Jiang Yanran, and the others all looked furious. They had seen shameless people before, but not to this extent. How could they have the face to say something like this? Yi Wanwan smiled. A member of the Yi family? Who said I'm a member of the Yi family? Insolence. Even if you're not a member of the Yi family, you can't withdraw the funds. You're breaching our contract. Yi Hongwei trembled from anger. Elder Yi, please be mindful of your words or else I'll have to order security to ask you to leave. Director Li interjected with a displeased expression from the stage. Director Zhou and Director Li had to have been incredibly astute to get promoted to branch directors of Stars Entertainment, so they naturally detected Yi Wanwan's attitude toward the Yi family. This was the time for them to prove themselves in front of Big Boss. How could they relinquish this opportunity to prove themselves? Our Stars Corporation can pay the penalty fee. Yi Wanwan replied indifferently. Chairman Yi, I'll contact the lawyer today and transfer it to them after calculating the penalty fee. Director Zhou quickly promised. You. Yi Hongwei pointed at Yi Wanwan and fell back, splayed on his chair. Emperor Sky Entertainment. His life's blood. Of course, I'm not a heartless person. Our Stars Entertainment can also acquire Emperor Sky if you're willing, Yi Wanwan added. You want to acquire Emperor Sky Entertainment? Keep dreaming. Yi Hongwei yelled, fuming. Yi Wanwan shrugged. Whatever you want. Yi Wanwan stopped paying attention to Yi Hongwei and his group, and turned to Yao Jiawen sitting close to them. I single-handedly created the Age of Immortals, but had to leave China due to private matters some time ago. However, Yao Jiawen took advantage of my absence to embezzle all of the Age of Immortals funds, and claimed to the outside world that it was me who embezzled the funds. Yi Wanwan said with a faint smile. Yao Jiawen's expression changed. She hastily stood up and explained to the reporters, I didn't. Yi Bai is venomously slandering me. How could I have embezzled the Age of Immortals funds? It was Yi Bai. It was me. Yi Wanwan peered at Yao Jiawen, her lips turning up with a meaningful smile. What you're saying is that I, the owner of Stars Corporation, decided to embezzle the Age of Immortals minute funds at the risk of committing a crime. Is that what you mean? A commotion snaked through the venue. Stars Entertainment's assets by itself was already a terrifying amount, and Stars Entertainment was merely a subsidiary of Stars Corporation, so the net worth of the entire Stars Corporation, Yi Bai, the boss of Stars, embezzled the funds of the Age of Immortals? What could those funds do for the boss of Stars? Eat breakfast. It was me who created the Age of Immortals, and when Yao Jiawen was unable to even find a job back then, I cherished talent, so I brought her into the Age of Immortals. Unfortunately, I merely picked up an ingrate. Yi Wanwan kept the smile on her face as she continued. Chapter 18:01. Everyone turned to each other after hearing that. After Yi Wanwan left China, Yao Jiawen announced that Yi Wanwan embezzled all of the Age of Immortals funds and established herself as the Age of Immortals savior, who tenaciously stood by the Age of Immortals in its most difficult times before finally leading the Age of Immortals out of its problems. She painted her image to be immensely heroic. However, Yao Jiawen's intentionally drawn image was easily shattered by a few words from Yi Wanwan tonight. If Yi Wanwan said this kind of thing with Yi Bai's identity, no one might believe her. But if Yi Wanwan denounced Yao Jiawen as the big boss of Stars Corporation, the effect would be utterly different. No. That's not it. Yao Jiawen loudly tried to explain. Yi Wanwan aloofly glanced at Yao Jiawen with a bone-chilling smile hanging from her lips. Yao Jiawen, back then, I used my status as the director of the talent recruitment department to draw you into the Age of Immortals when you were hitting walls and failures every which way, and I wholeheartedly trained you. However, after I left, you embezzled all of the Age of Immortals funds, but claimed that it was me who embezzled funds to the outside world. Moreover, you forced the Age of Immortals artists to shoot crude portraits, produce rotten films, and act as a garnish for Xiaoheng. An uproar reverberated through the venue. Before Yi Wanwan said this today, who would have expected Yao Jiawen to be this kind of despicable and shameless person? When Yao Jiawen was penniless, it was Yi Wanwan who helped her, so it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say Yi Wanwan was Yao Jiawen's biggest benefactor in her life. However, Yao Jiawen took advantage of Yi Wanwan's absence to frame her and steal the Age of Immortals. All the reporters rushed toward Yao Jiawen, surrounding her impenetrably. CEO Yao, are Yi Bai's words true? Did Yi Bai help you in your most desperate times, but you repaid kindness with malice and stole Yi Bai's Age of Immortals after embezzling its funds? Yao Jiawen frantically shook her head. It's a lie. What evidence does she have to say this? She was the culprit, but she's framing me instead now. CEO Yao, you're saying Yi Bai is framing you? A reporter looked at her derisively. CEO Yao, Yi Bai is the owner of Stars Corporation. At the risk of sounding mean, is the Age of Immortals funds greater than what Stars Entertainment can earn in an hour? Why would Yi Bai have to risk violating the law to do this? Would you go and steal $1, CEO Yao? Yao Jiawen feebly opened her mouth, but couldn't utter anything in response. Every single one of her explanations would appear frail and empty. No matter what she said, no one would believe her. All of this was attributed to the stunning truth of Yi Bai's identity as the big boss of Stars Corporation. This identity alone was enough. All hell broke loose once again on China's various live broadcast platforms in response to Yi Wanwan's words, and a myriad of insults and admonishment were directed towards Yao Jiawen. Yi imperceptibly sent a reporter a look. Yi knew that Yi Wanwan would attend Star's celebration tonight, so she intentionally hired a reporter to use this opportunity to shatter Yi Wanwan's reputation completely and turn her into a street rat that everyone despised. Chairman Yi, can I ask you a few questions? A reporter quickly asked Yi Wanwan. You may. Yi Wanwan nodded. Chapter 1802 Chairman Yi, as everyone knows, you're a member of the Yi family, and your father and brother were charged for murdering Yi's father with irrefutable evidence. Now, you seem to be unilaterally breaking off Stars Entertainment's investment and cooperation with Emperor Sky Entertainment, which is the life's work of the Yi family, like an act of vengeance. Moreover, back then, your father was the CEO of Emperor Sky Entertainment, but was kicked out of the Yi family because he embezzled company funds to pay off his gambling debt, and was involved in criminal activities. Is everything you're doing currently an act of revenge, Chairman Yi? If you are seeking revenge, I don't think the Yi family has done anything wrong. Instead, the wrongdoers are you, your parents, and your brother Yi Mufan. Everyone's eyes landed on Yi Wanwan again. An icy smugness surfaced in Yi's eyes, but she sighed in reply. Sister, I know you hate our family, but by using this kind of method, the entire Yi family, not just us, will come to ruin. Yi Wanwan is still your sister after all and took great care of you once. She's forgiven you for all of your wrongs. Although you're now Star's big boss, how could you use such dirty and shameless methods? The Yi family didn't do anything wrong. Gu Yueza echoed in agreement. This bastard. Yi Hongwei's face was flushed red, and he had one hand clasping his crutch as he glared at Yi Wanwan. I was thoroughly disappointed by your father and brother, and I even once considered giving you all a chance. However, they not only incompetently ruined the company, but they also dared to commit murder. And you. Not only did you not reflect and repent on it, but you also used this kind of method to harm the Yi family. Are you still a person? Hey, Chairman Yi, don't you think this is truly unjust? The reporter from earlier continued to hound Yi Wanwan. Following this round of inquiries, China's various major live broadcast platforms welcomed another round of insults from the keyboard warriors. Director Li glared at the reporter furiously. Whose reporter are you? Security, kick him out. Yi Wanwan waved her hand and looked at the reporter with a chuckle. You raised a good question. First of all, I don't hold any relationship with the Yi family, and the matter of course beliefs that you hold merely hijack morality to condemn me. Unfortunately, I've never succumbed to this formula. Yi Wanwan glanced at the reporter, Yi, and Yi Hongwei before continuing. Second of all, I'm the owner of Stars, so I need to be responsible for my company. I don't think Emperor Sky Entertainment has the strength and qualifications deserving of investment and partnership from Stars. We previously invested in several international artists from Stars, but Emperor Sky didn't raise their popularity in China at all, nor did they provide Stars with the anticipated profits. Hence, what issue is there in Stars choosing to withdraw our funds and terminate our partnership? The reporter furrowed his brows. Yi Wanwan focused on the reporter. Or do you think an international company like Stars manages to grow bigger and stronger from personal feelings alone, and doesn't need to consider the situation and the gains and losses? Everything I'm saying has obvious reasoning, but do you know why I'm talking in such simple terms? What do you mean to say, Chairman Yi? The reporter questioned. Because I'm afraid that you might not understand, considering your circumstances, if I said anything more profound, Yi Wanwan answered. Chapter 1803 Laughter broke out in the crowd. This was a blatant face-slapping. This reporter's numerous questions were nowhere as shocking and impactful as Yi Wanwan's words. With a few words, Yi Wanwan informed everyone how ignorant this reporter was. Also, Yi Wanwan turned to Yi Hongwei. Regard Elder Ye's words. You said that Yi shouting negatively impacted the company due to his embezzlement of the company's funds, and you kicked him out of the Yi family afterward. Then Elder Ye's belief should be to abandon anyone useless, including your own son. And today, I think that the Yi family's Emperor Sky Entertainment is completely useless to our Stars Corporation, and is even a burden. Hence, as the boss of Stars Corporation, I should logically abandon Emperor Sky Entertainment. However, Elder Yi, why are you reacting so intensely and attacking me so personally? Could it be that you relied on personal attacks on other people to strengthen Emperor Sky Entertainment back then? Great. Nicely said. Gong Su stood up immediately and loudly applauded Yi Wanwan. Following Gong Su's clapping, thunderous applause from various artists also rang out. Yu. Yi Hongwei fiercely glared at Yi Wanwan and trembled from his rage. Also, that reporter friend just now said my father and brother were suspected of murdering Yi Shaoan from the Yi family, so I would like to use this opportunity to show everyone something. Yi Wanwan said a faint smile. Show us something? What is it? Everyone looked at her curiously. Today is my father and brother's trial date, and the court hearing also coincidentally happens to be a live broadcast, so let's all see the result for ourselves. Seven Star and Big Dipper walked up and cooperated with some employees from Stars to turn on the giant screen at the venue. Yi Mufan and Yi Shouting were shown on the screen. Yi Wanwan had spent a large sum to hire China's most famous lawyer, Zhang He, to defend Yi Mufan and Yi Shouting. Nowadays, court hearings were increasingly public, and Yi Mufan and Yi Shouting's lawsuit held too great an impact, so the court chose to live broadcast the hearing. In the broadcast, a middle-aged man, Zhang He, submitted a piece of evidence in defense of Yi Mufan and Yi Shouting's innocence to the court. It was an audio tape. As the recording played, Liang Meixian and Huang Mingquan's voices were heard. Huang Mingquan, say, our act of hiring someone to kill Yi Shaoan and framing Yi Shouting and Yi Mufan won't be exposed, right? Don't worry. It won't. Our plan was absolutely seamless, and no one will realize it. Yi Mufan and Yi Shouting, those two idiots, deserve it. Their whole family is idiotic. This whole family is rather comical if you think about it. Back then, Yi Shaoan owed a large sum of debt, so he embezzled a giant sum from the company's funds. Later, he befriended people from the mafia behind the back of the old geezer, Yi Hongwei, and framed Yi Shouting for the whole thing. Yi Shaoan teamed up with Yi and Gu Yueza to abduct Yi Wanwan, and injected her with illegal drugs and recorded her. In the end, Yi Shouting actually willingly took the fall for his daughter. Wasn't he dumb? Many people were astonished by the recording they heard. Yi especially looked incredulous. After Liang Meixian and Huang Mingquan returned home, they revealed how they were forced to record this conversation during their abduction. That same day, Yi sought out members of the Hongxing gang and spent a large sum to ask the Hongxing gang to take care of this matter. Chapter 1804 Hongxing gang sent news a few days ago that Huang Mingquan and Liang Meixian's abductors were taken care of already, and the recording was destroyed. Did Hongxing gang lie to her? Yi Wanwan aloofly watched Yi's reaction. Yi definitely didn't expect that it was Yi Wanwan who made Hongxing gang give them false information, since Hongxing gang had been following everything she said to the T with Liao Jieqi in her possession. Yi Hongwei watched the big screen in disbelief after the recording ended. Yi Shaoan wasn't killed by Yi Shouting and Yi Mufan. His second son died at the hands of Liang Meixian and Steward Huang. Then they framed Yi Shouting and Yi Mufan for the homicide. Elder Yi, the Yi you indulge so much isn't your granddaughter. She's the product of an illicit affair between Liang Meixian and the Yi family's steward, Huang Mingquan. Elder Yi is so generous to hand over your life's work to an outsider. Yi Wanwan said to Yi Hongwei in amusement. What did you say? Yi Hongwei was stunned and incredulously turned to look at Yi next to him. Don't slander me and start rumors here, Yi Wanwan. Yi loudly rebuked. Slander you and start rumors? Yi Wanwan smiled. Your mother's illicit affair with Steward Huang isn't fake, right? I've hired private investigators and possess evidence of the affair between your mother and Huang Mingquan. Yi frowned deeply. She truly underestimated this woman. On the big screen, Huang Mingquan and Liang Meixian were originally sitting in the audience as the victim's family, but following the revelation of the recording, their expressions greatly changed. Didn't Yi say Hongxing gang had already taken care of their abductors and destroyed the recording? It's not like that. Someone abducted us and forced us to say that. Liang Meixian stood up and shouted loudly. Oh, You're saying you said this during your abduction? Isn't that absurd? Don't you know what these words represent? Zhang He, China's top lawyer, asked with a snort. I know. But if we didn't cooperate with them, we would have died. Liang Meixian explained immediately. What a joke! Zhang He exclaimed. If it was really as you said, why don't you have a police record? Why would an abducted individual say this, but not report it to the police? However, they didn't exhibit any changes from before the trial began until now. Don't tell me you forgot you were abducted? Sweat drenched Liang Meixian's forehead. When they got home and found Yi, they did have plans to report the abducting to the police. However, Hongxing Gang guaranteed that the recording was destroyed already, so they were afraid it would cause unnecessary trouble and reveal her relationship with Huang Mingquan, and maybe even their business with Hongxing Gang. Who provided this recording? The judge asked from his seat. I did. A middle-aged man replied as he stood up from the benches. Bullshit, Liang Meixian shouted, enraged. The middle-aged man snorted before turning to the judge. I'm a private investigator with a permit for operation, and underwent professional training. Miss Yi Wanwan hired me, and through tenacious investigation, I finally discovered Huang Mingquan owed a large sum to loan sharks at the casino. The supposed abduction that Huang Mingquan mentioned was his loan sharks merely finding him a few days ago and forcing him to pay his debts. Additionally, Liang Meixian and Huang Mingquan had an abnormally intimate relationship. I discovered the particular hotel and hotel room that they frequently stayed in, and installed taping devices in the room ahead of time. I originally just wanted to try my luck, but didn't expect to really get a surprising reward. Chapter 1805. All the guests at Stars Entertainment's anniversary celebration were astonished. They didn't expect the sensational case would have such a great turnaround. The second son of the Yi family, Yi Shaoan, didn't die in the hands of Yi Xiaoting and Yi Mufan. Not only was he murdered by killers hired by the Yi family's steward, Huang Mingquan, and Liang Meixian, but those two even framed Yi Xiaoting and Yi Mufan for it. Wasn't this too terrifying? The madam of the Yi family actually had an illicit affair with their steward. Sir Judge, I also have some videos and pictures here to submit as evidence. Zhang He walked forward and submitted the video and photos that Third Elder and Big Dipper shot previously. The evidence contained multiple room renting records at this hotel from Liang Meixian and steward Huang Mingquan, and videos and photos of them in the room. All of these can't serve as direct evidence, the judge said after a long while. Zhang He smiled. We naturally knew this, but we also have additional evidence that can directly prove Yi Mufan and Yi Xiaoting weren't the true culprits behind Yi Shaoan's murder. Zhang He immediately listed several pieces of evidence that proved Yi Mufan and Yi Xiaoting's innocence, and their lack of motive for killing Yi Shaoan. He started playing Yi Mufan and Yi Xiaoting's video that night. This video originated from the Yi residence's surveillance camera. Everyone knows that this video is how we directly determined Yi Mufan and Yi Xiaoting to be the murderers initially, but there's a very illogical area. Zhang He swept his gaze across the room and slowly said, first of all, in the video, Yi Mufan and Yi Xiaoting did indeed appear in the Yi residence and entered Yi Shaoan's room. However, sometime later, they appeared again in the video with a murder weapon in hand. That is how it appears. But everyone, please pay attention. The Yi Mufan and Yi Xiaoting you see holding a murder weapon have their backs facing the camera, and aside from wearing the same clothes, there isn't any direct evidence that proves the people holding the murder weapon are them. What a joke. Even their clothes are identical, so what if they didn't show their faces? Liang Meixian came back to life after learning that the recording couldn't be used as evidence and snorted at the lawyer. Zhang He turned to Liang Meixian. Even your recording can't be used as evidence. So could this be used as evidence simply because the second group is wearing identical outfits? Ms. Liang, your logic is truly admirable. Liang Meixian looked at Zhang He, somewhat at a loss for words. The murder weapon contained their fingerprints. Fingerprints? Zhang He smiled aloofly. It's truly too simple to obtain something like fingerprints. However, while we're on the topic of fingerprints, there is something more interesting. Normal people might not know about this, But I have to emphasize something. After the weapon was thrown into the Yi residence's pond, it was soaked for at least 10 hours, so even if you could obtain Yi Mufan and Yi Shouting's fingerprints, they would be faint. However, the fingerprints that the forensic scientists extracted were very intact and whole. Is this logical? Everyone in the courtroom turned to look at each other blankly, oddly quiet. There's also one more thing that I find more absurd. Chapter 1806 Zhang He continued. Based on what I know, Yi Shouting was responsible for installing all of the Yi residence's surveillance, so he thoroughly knew every point of surveillance inside and out. If Yi Shouting wanted to kill someone, planned it for a long time and was operating with his son, Yi Mufan, how could he be foolish enough to expose himself on the surveillance footage multiple times? That isn't logical nor reasonable. From the defendant's seat, Yi Mufan looked at Zhang He in surprise. Damn. No wonder he was China's most famous lawyer that Wanwan hired with a huge sum of money. He was simply, hence based on the intact nature of the fingerprints. It's apparent that this was premeditated and plotted to frame them for murder. This is all I have to say, Zhang He concluded with a smile. Huang Mingquan knitted his brows tightly and looked at their dumbstruck lawyer. He wanted to stomp his feet from anxiousness. Talk already. The prosecutor was exasperated. What else could he say? Fingerprints couldn't be intact after the weapon was soaked in water for 10+ hours, but the fingerprints on the murder weapon were very intact, meaning they were planted there later. This point alone was enough. Also, all of Zhang He's explanations were flawless, and there wasn't a point they could refute. Moreover, they had videos and recordings as evidence. About half an hour later, when news rang out of Yi Mufan and Yi Shouting being released and absolved of their guilt, Yi Wanwan finally revealed a trace of happiness from Star's anniversary celebration stage. Although they couldn't use the recording as direct evidence, they could use it as a reference. Since Yi Mufan and Yi Shouting were acquitted of their charges, the investigation on this case would be continued and eventually lead to Huang Mingquan and Liang Meixian. Yi Wanwan would like to see how long they could hold on. Soon, Yi Wanwan had someone turn the screen off, ending the live broadcast of the court hearing. So, does anyone want to say anything else? For example, Elder Yi Yi and CEO Gu? Yi Wanwan turned to the trio with an inscrutable smile on her face. Yi Hongwei was stunned, his lips twitching, and unable to utter a word. Yi Yi's hands were twisted into themselves, and the color was drained from her face. Gu Yueza had his brows deeply knitted. Yi Yi was actually a bastard? The illegitimate daughter from a steward. A commotion ran through the venue of Star's anniversary celebration following the judge's decision. No one expected the truth of the matter to turn out like this. What a great show. The eldest miss of Emperor Sky Entertainment, Yi Yi, was actually the bastard, and the madam of the Yi group had an illicit affair with their steward. They worked together to frame Yi Shouting and his son, Yi Mufan, and they might even be the culprits behind Yi Shaoan's murder. This truth was simply horrifyingly bone-chilling. A vacuum instantly appeared around Yi Yi, and everyone subconsciously distanced themselves from her. Based on Yi Yi's expression, she had to have known her background. How malicious did this woman have to be to dominate the position as the eldest daughter of the Yi family for so long without any qualms? How could this mother and daughter pair be so evil and vicious? Everyone also naturally remembered how Gu Yueza broke his engagement with Yi Wanwan back then. There was no double he threw away Yi Wanwan a watermelon to pick up a pile of dog shit. Gu Yueza naturally detected everyone's peculiar gazes and fervent whisperings. His fiancée was actually the bastard of a steward. He had never experienced this type of humiliation in his life. Chapter 1807 Yueza, 1 Let me explain. Yi Yi paid no attention to other people's eyes and tried to latch onto her final log, Gu Yueza. Gu Yueza avoided her hand like she was something disgusting. He wore an extremely disappointed expression as he frostily said, "Yi, I always thought you were an innocent and kind girl. For you, I didn't hesitate to break my engagement with Wanwan and shoulder the curses afterward, but I didn't expect you to be so malicious." Yi Yi watched forlornly as Gu Yueza furiously left. She was instantly submerged by a swarm of reporters. The event that could be called the biggest farce of the entertainment industry this year finally dropped its curtains. After Stars Entertainment's anniversary celebration ended, Yi Wanwan didn't linger, and the venue slowly emptied of guests. Yi Wanwan walked out of the restroom with her phone in hand and looked up, catching sight of someone standing in the hallway outside. Guyueza. He was evidently waiting there for her. Yi Wanwan reflexively raised her brows at seeing Guyueza after a long absence on her part. This man was undoubtedly her most disliked person. Not only because he was scum but because he truly represented the darkest part of her history during her period of amnesia. Yi Wanwan couldn't help but grind her teeth at the thought of the culprit behind all of this. Wanwan. Guyueza examined this woman who seemed to have remolded herself thoroughly. I don't know how you did it, but I'm very surprised you would go to this extent for me. Even he couldn't help but exclaim beautiful at Yi Wanwan's flawless counterattack. Although Yi Wanwan became more and more beautiful, he never regretted his decision. For people like him, winning over beautiful women was way too easy. Now though he finally seriously considered this woman for the first time, Yi Wanwan glanced at him speechlessly. What did he mean by go to this extent for me? What did this idiot narcissistically imagine again? She didn't understand a word. Guyueza continued. I actually remember everything you said back then, Wanwan. Oh, but I've forgotten. What did I say? Yi Wanwan asked with amusement. Guyueza smiled as though he saw through her intentionally calm pretense and confidently said, You once said to me that you would work hard to become someone worthy of me, Wanwan. Back then, I didn't think you said that seriously, so I didn't expect you to really work so hard for me. Yi Wanwan. After breaking off my engagement with him, I partied my way to the heavens already, alright? Is he still living in the previous century? Yi Wanwan was incredulous. Just who gave him this confidence and audacity? Heh. Mr. Gu, you're truly cute. Yi Wanwan promptly left after saying that, unwilling to waste precious time with this idiot. Guyueza wasn't angry as he watched Yi Wanwan leaving. Playing hard to get was kind of fun too. No matter how outstanding a woman was, she couldn't escape from his grasp as long as they had emotional ties. Yi Wanwan originally wanted to seek out Xiezhiji to ask about news related to Si Yihan, but Xiezhiji left already by the time she came out, so she had to meet with him a different time. After bidding farewell to Han Xianyu and the others, she headed straight to the courthouse to take Yi Mufan and Yi Shouting home. When the family of four finally reunited, they tightly hugged each other, excited beyond words. Chapter 1808, Wanwan. You've worked hard. Emotional tears filled Yi Shouting's eyes. Dad, we're family. Why are you saying this? Yi Wanwan hugged her father. They might not be her biological parents, but Yi Shouting had given her the most valuable paternal love. Yi Mufan was bursting with excitement and kept bouncing up and down next to Yi Wanwan. Damn. Wanwan, you're too freaking awesome. We're from the same parents. Isn't this too unfair? Do you have a genetic mutation, Wanwan? Yi Wanwan rolled her eyes at him. Stop your nonsense. Hurry and go home to take a bath. Liang Wanjun nodded vehemently. That's right. Wash away the bad luck. After Stars Entertainment's anniversary celebration ended, Yi Wanwan's phone exploded with calls, and an endless amount of invitations paraded onto her phone. However, she declined all of them and kept her parents company at home in the following few days. Eventually, she and Yi Mufan invited Han Xinyu, Luo Chun, Gong Su, Jiang Yanran and Fei Yang, as well as Big Dipper, 7-Star, and Fu Mingxi, who forcibly invited himself for a meal. Fei Yang reserved a table at a tower restaurant with great privacy, and everyone sat down at the table, relaxed. Yi Wanwan pulled Jiang Yanran to sit on her right side, leaving an empty seat on her left which was swiftly snatched by Gong Su. Due to some obstructions from Big Dipper, Fu Mingxi only managed to land a corner spot a little far from Yi Wanwan. At the table, Yi Wanwan introduced Fu Mingxi, Big Dipper, and 7-Star to everyone, and a harmonious atmosphere enveloped the table. Han Xinyu said, Congratulations CEO Yi, for righting your injustice. Luo Chen also butt in. Congratulations CEO Yi. Everyone else cheerfully piped in with their congratulations. Yi Mufan sighed. Thank you for your hard work throughout this period. Open your mouth wide today and eat your fill. My sister will pay the bill. Yi Mufan said, my sister will pay the bill, like it went without saying. Yi Wanwan looked somewhat exasperated, but the comers of her lips unwittingly turned up. In the independent state, she walked every step with her heart hanging off a cliff. Now that she had returned to China and reunited with her friends, she hadn't been able to feel so relaxed for a long time. On the table, Gong Su's phone kept going off ding ding ding, as though special notifications for some topic he set up were popping up. Gong Su offhandedly clicked it open and promptly slapped the table, exclaiming, Damn! What the heck is Gu Yueza up to? Isn't this notice too freaking shameless? He actually said you've always been deeply in love with him, brother Yi. He's saying you love him more than life itself and desperately yearned for him even after you broke off your engagement with him. Blah. Couldn't he make up a more believable story? Fei Yong had received many messages from his friends in the industry asking him about Yi Wanwan's relationship with Gu Yueza, but he didn't mention it to avoid affecting everyone's meal. Since Gong Su rashly brought it up, he interjected. It hasn't been many days since the court hearing concluded, but this press release was already written and published. The Gu Group's public relations works rather fast. Earlier, Jiang Yanran was worried that Yi Wanwan would become sad at the mention of Gu Yueza, but now, she lost all worries. Upon hearing this, she scornfully said, Back when Uncle Yi fell on desperate times, Gu Yueza impatiently broke off his engagement with Wanwan and cut their ties. Now, as soon as he learned about Wanwan's identity, he audaciously wants to claim some relation to her. What a clever plan. Yi Mufan commented as well. And I thought I was scum enough already, but there's always someone even scummier out there. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.